Going live. We're live.
Cool. Come on. Right. Counting us down in 3, 2.
Hello and welcome to the Big Fat Wrestling Quiz of the Year 2022. This is going to be an irreverent look back at the year that was 2022 in wrestling. And I'm Martin Bushby. I'll be asking the questions, but joining me are 3 teams of 2. Originally, we were supposed to be joined by Kate from Montreal, but sadly she can't make it with us. So obviously, all the best to Kate. But first up, first team, we have one of the newest members of the Grapple Spotlight, and also a former co-host of the British Wrestling Experience. It's Mr. Matty Edwards and Andy Ogden. Lads, thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Pleasure,
Christmas,
Martin.
Yep.
And what team name have you come up with for us, lads?
We've gone for the one and only, The Business.
That's it, Andy. Well in, mate.
Brilliant, of course, The Business. It had to be, especially with Matty being in the team. And secondly, he's representing the Poison Rana universe, and his teammates representing the whole state of New Jersey. It's Davie, Portman, and Brandon from New Jersey. Cheers for joining us, lads.
Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing?
Pleasure
Doing
to be
good,
here.
mate. Thanks for coming. What's the team? I can't wait to hear this one. What's the team name you guys have come up with?
Go for it, Brandon.
We are calling ourselves Steven Seagal Lawmen.
Why?
I don't know. I put it on the other day by accident. I found it on A&E. I just found it humorous that Steven Seagal is such a chameleon. He can change accents, and all of a sudden, he's has a southern drawl and he's fighting crime in the bayous of New Orleans. So I passed the idea to Davie, and he was like, "Oh, fine," and I was like, "All right, cool, we're going for it." And he was like, "Yeah, let's go." And I was like, "All right, cool." You twisted my arm, so here we are.
Excellent.
The Lawman.
Steven Seagal Lawman it is. And
It's
last
great
but not least, he's from Grapple Spotlight and formerly BWE, and his partner is a regular post contributor and one of the co-hosts of Postmarks. It's Benno and Bruce Lord. Lads, thanks for coming on and taking part in the quiz.
Oh, absolutely. Pleasure to be here.
Glad to keep this tradition going, Martin. Any excuse to wear the post hat, we've got to keep our toe in the water, I think. Otherwise, we got to give these back to waiting. Otherwise, got to put a shift in once a year.
Is that the agreement? Yeah, you've got to give all your post merch back when you've officially left. Yeah. What team name have you guys come up with?
Well, me and Bruce were kind of we were put together last minute, but we bonded, didn't we, Bruce, on the charity stream? Got fond memories of that. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was a dream. I don't know. It was 24 hours, but I'm pretty sure we bonded anyway over Wu-Tang. So I was in Bruce's DMs before, suggesting some Wu-Tang related names: Ray and Ghost United, Ghostface Killers, Post Fam, Post Killer Bees. But I thought, in honor of Bruce's podcast, and I suppose my catchphrase as Bruce's podcast is I die, you die. I think I die, Brit Res dies. Feels perfect, doesn't it?
Absolutely. A grim look back at the year that was for the Brit Res scene, I suppose.
It had to be. It had to have something to do with Brit Res being dead, I suppose. So, one last time, Benno. Rolling the catchphrase out. So yeah. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks everyone for joining us on YouTube and in the chat tonight. So obviously questions are going to be divided into months, sort of January, February, etc. And teams will get a point for each correct answer. And we'll also going to be having some special guests dropping in to answer some questions as well. And huge thanks to Shane Silver at Global Force Go on Twitter for helping put together the questions. So if everyone's ready, I'll give you your starter for one. And
Let's-
we are in the first month, January. At WWE's Day 1 pay-per-view, Brock Lesnar won the WWE title in an 8-minute fatal 5-way match involving the defending champion Big E, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins. But who did Brock pin to win the strap? So Day 1, that was a big event for WWE at the start of January. I think they've cancelled it this year, but this was a bit
Can
of
I
a
ask for a repeat of the
controversial
men in the
decision at
question?
the time. You
The
what?
men
Sorry,
in the
mate.
match. Can I ask for a repeat of the men in the match?
Yep.
All right, Benno.
The men in the match were Brock Lesnar, obviously, Big E, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins.
Right.
Hopefully that's made it a bit clearer for you, Benno.
Thanks. Sorry, I was running graphics at the same time. I'm sorted now. I'm done.
It's okay. Well, if we've all got our answers locked in, I'll go with Davie and Brandon first.
Pretty sure it's Big E, and it put an end to that title reign.
Yeah, so big of a match that I completely forgot that even happened.
I think we'll have a lot of that tonight, Brandon. And Andy and Matty.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
it's Big E. Big
Yep.
E, baby.
And Benno and Bruce.
Well, we might be on the wrong side of history here. As this is probably as good a time to disclose as any to disclose that I don't think I've literally watched a single WWE match back to front this
Oh,
year.
come on, your lordship. Come on.
That's outrageous.
Come on.
So we were going with Owens just on the basis of I think he was a heel at the time, but I'm guessing that might be incorrect.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that is incorrect for you and you and Benno. It was indeed Big E. I remember, yeah, that was quite controversial at the time. Was people sort of like kicking off that sort of like Big E seemingly only had the title for a short run. Of course, it was Brock Lesnar that had to beat him. Bruce, I'm sure you've done Rewind to SmackDown this year, or am I just making that up?
No. I mean, I could definitely do the Rampage half of it, but no, there's a reason why Kate is the presence on Fridays, and that's because she has the intestinal fortitude to make it through main roster WWE product in 2022, and I'm just too sensitive in my old age to be able to deal with that.
Yeah.
There is a
humble brew dog.
There is a trick in podcasting as well. Even if you haven't seen it, you just disagree with about 30% of what your co-host is saying, and you know what the match looks like without even watching.
Yeah, giving away the secrets here, Davey. Just go on a random tangent about the wrestlers in the match, talk about them broad strokes for 5 minutes till people want you to shut up. That's my tactic anyway. But as Connor says in the chat, this is pre-Cody WWE, so I was never going to be any help on this one. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I imagine last couple of episodes of BWE, Benno was definitely using them tricks.
I haven't seen a Rev Pro show in 4 years, but anyhow.
Even when you were there live, yeah, you were queuing for the bar, yeah.
At the bar with JP, yeah.
So anyway, on to question number 2 from January. What was the main event of Wrestle Kingdom Night 1? Obviously, New Japan went 2 nights again this year. Bruce, you said you've not been watching much WWE. As New Japan seems to have fallen off for a lot of people this year. Have you been checking out much New Japan?
Oh yeah, no, I've been sticking with New Japan, and I understand why people have kind of fallen off of it. The clap crowds have been difficult to deal with, but it is starting to, I think, turn around, and I think you're starting to get that real sense of interest in Wrestle Kingdom coming up in a couple of weeks. At least the Super Junior Tag League side of things over the last month or so was pretty entertaining as well. So I can understand why the casual person has maybe fallen off of it, but it's I feel like it's kind of on the comeback right now.
I mean, it's going to be interesting for Wrestle Kingdom next year, isn't it, Benno? Because half of the talent's going to be in Seattle, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah,
so I
part of-
Brian Alvarez.
I listened to Brian Alvarez. It was definitely a joke because he was talking about, because he's doing the show and he's from Seattle. He was like acting like all the stars are going to be there, but all the Naito fans have been panicked for the last 24 hours. But I think they've calmed down now. It looks like a good card, to be fair. I'm going down
to the Seattle Dynamite actually. So when I saw that little rumor flitting around, I was like, "Oh God, are you? Oh wait, no, never mind."
Yeah, it's definitely a joke. All the people who took it as not a joke. Yeah, it's crazy. But Yeah. So anyway, on to this year's Wrestle Kingdom, and the question was, what was the main event of Wrestle Kingdom Night 1? And Benno and Bruce will go with you guys first.
Yeah, I'll throw this one out to Shingo Okada.
And Davie and Brandon.
We, the lawmen, agree and say Shingo and Okada.
And
well, I'll let you say our answer now, Andy. Then go on, mate.
Yeah, we went Jay White and Ibushi.
That's because you said that, so I'll let you say it. I'm trusting you there, mate. I'm trusting you.
Oh, yeah. So points there for Benno and Bruce and Davie and Brandon. And question number 3. At NEW's WrestleFest 26. Yes, that is an event that has got 26 versions of it. Adam Scherr and Eric Redbeard be a cobbled together tag team featuring an ex-WWE Cruiserweight champion and an ex-WCW tag team champion. But who were the team?
Where's JP when you need him? He'll watch this.
Yeah.
Sorry, ex-WWE Cruiserweight, and what was the other?
Ex-WCW tag team champion.
Oof.
I know this is I mean, God knows where Shane came up with this one. NEW WrestleFest. Has anybody heard of this event or heard of previous ones? Well, apparently they've had 26 versions of it.
This could be anyone. This couldn't it? This literally could be like, what is going on with this?
Proper cobbled together team. Yeah. This. Yep, ex-WWE Cruiserweight champion and an ex-WCW tag team champion. And the team was obviously Adam Scherr and Eric Redbeard. They beat them. Right, anyway.
We got it.
Go on, Davie and Brandon, what's your answer?
I'll let Davie say it.
What are we going for? Which one?
the one I go on. Let's do it. Go for it. Say it.
Enzo and who's the other one?
I think Bully Ray, right?
Bully Ray and Enzo?
And Benno and Bruce.
Oof.
We're really.
Do you want to guess one? I'll guess the other.
I mean, I just former cruiserweight. I'm gonna throw TJP out, but
God, who could TJP team with? Trying to think if I could do WCW tag guy, it'd still be going. No one's coming to mind. I don't know. Is Chuck Palumbo still alive? He's dead, isn't he? Maybe not in then.
Oh, he's alive, isn't he, Palumbo? He's alive.
Go, Chuck Palumbo, throw it out.
He's my answer, Benno. He's my answer. That's right.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Why do we both go to that on WCW Tag Team Champion? Why have we got Chuck Palumbo?
Go on then, I'll give you Matty. What's your answer? Chuck Palumbo and who?
Just trying to use logic in this. I've gone with Nunzio and Chuck Palumbo reforming the FBI. That's what I've gone with. Like that. So like Janelle would do, though, isn't it? Bringing them back for that.
Yeah.
On a different
that's not a bad shout, that, actually, Matty. Sadly, it's wrong. The only ones to pick up the points are Davie and Brandon. It was indeed Enzo and Bully Ray.
That was all Brandon there.
Oh, check Brandon's Google history here.
Oh, definitely.
I want to judge his education on this.
Yeah.
My hands are right here. I have nothing. I am innocent.
Was any W?
Name one other match on that show, Brandon. That should be the test. Come on, name another match.
Jungle Jim Steele.
The new Jack on that show, was he?
Oh yes. Let's not talk about that.
Right, final question for January, and this is a doozy. Prior to their January debut, Terminus, obviously the Jonathan Gresham promotion, unveiled their hefty rulebook, which includes DQ via 2 technical fouls. In total, there are 10 technical fouls in Terminus's rulebook. Name as many as you can. You'll get a point for each one.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
Wow.
Terminus. I didn't realize they started in January. I thought that was like sort of like midway through the year. I didn't realize that. I suppose their first event was sort of like midway through the year, but yeah, they sort of like made their, we're making a big hoo-ha on Twitter and everything.
wasn't it there was like kind of a last minute or a freak snowstorm, I think, that kind of delayed the first show and kind of kept a lot of people from coming in person to it, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh yeah, it was something like that, wasn't it? Yeah. I've not actually. Don't any of the shows made it on VOD? I've not seen sort of like any gifs or anything from them. But I didn't know if they'd been on Fight or anything like that.
They were on Fight. I watched the first two. They were decent. Yeah.
They've only had 2 so far, then.
I think they did a third or a fourth, but buzz about those was very reduced, I think.
Oh, so you should be an expert on this hefty rule book then. I imagine they had it on the graphics and everything for both the shows.
They did, but it's it was just like the Iron Room challenge or whatever we just went through. It's a wall of text that you're not gonna remember.
I heard the rule book is the size of the King James Bible.
Maybe a bit smaller.
And it's still better than the Ring of Honor Pure title.
Right. I think we've got 4 here, Martin. We've got 4, I think. That countdown dish, how many letters we got? 4. That's what we've got.
1, 2, 3.
There's 4 there, and
4. Yeah. We got 4, but we also had a joke one as well, what I put in.
Yeah.
Go on then, hit me with them, Andy.
Yeah, so we've got no eye gouging, no top rope usage, no low blows. You've got to stay in the ring, and the joke one was no one over 5 foot can wrestle.
Yep, and Benno and Bruce.
Yeah. Oh, so we were going with no closed fists, no low blows, no throwing your opponent over the top rope, and then a 15-minute time limit as well. Although I don't know if that really factors into a technical foul or not, but that was one of the other big steps, and I think there was maybe some overtime as well.
Did we get bonus for overtime? That's the one thing I can remember. Yeah, that there was overtime if it in the case of a draw, I think, was it, for the 15 minutes?
Yeah.
That's not a technicality, though, Ben, is it?
Yeah,
I'm trying to be that guy. This is a serious game now, boys. I'm sorry.
No, but anyway, Davie and Brandon, what have you managed to come up with from the Terminus rulebook?
I think they made only 5 seconds on the floor instead of a 10 or a 20 count. No closed fists, no rope breaks, 15 time limit, and then sort of any low blow or use of a weapon. I think they got a fine or a suspension. Brandon also put no illegal firearms as well.
I think that's probably just standard at every wrestling show. So, yeah.
Not the spot for Brian Pillman to make his comeback.
So Matty and Oggy got 4 there, and Benno and Bruce, you got 3. I couldn't quite have the sort of like time limits because, like Matty said, it wasn't a technical foul.
Well in, Martin, mate. Well in, mate.
Davie and Brandon, you got 4. So we had throwing opponents over the top rope, 10-second top rope count, 5-second rope break, intentional physical contact with the referee, intentional low blow, intentional eye gouge, fish hooking, intentional hair pulling, spitting, close fist punches to the face. So yeah, what a hefty rule book that was indeed.
You got some big hitters in the chat there. Poison Rana asking who came up with the questions. It was Jay, wasn't it? I'm guessing that's Braden. John Pollock in the chat as well. He's here to watch Brandon struggle, apparently.
What's struggling so far? These are way out in front.
Oh, I know. These are in the lead so far. Yeah. Yep. So. And we're moving on to February now. And, well, you can definitely tell that Shane put these questions together with the first one from February. Which pro wrestler filmed a private porno for their wife as a present, which was subsequently leaked by the porno company?
Andy, you must know that one, mate. I haven't got a clue.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Can you repeat the question?
Yep. Which pro wrestler filmed a private porno for his wife as a present that was then leaked by the porno company? Who filmed it?
Who's crazy enough to do that?
Well, there's a lot of wrestlers crazy enough to do that. Yeah.
How many cowboy at ratings, Matty? That's all I want.
Oh, mate, how many do you want, and? Anyone? I'm talking to you. I should be writing.
Like Chris Elliott says in the chat, Brandon's all over this one.
Yeah. High praise.
Does anyone actually know? Seriously?
I know.
Well,
Do you?
we'll
I
find
think
out
Chris
in a
knows,
minute.
right?
Of
Yeah.
course you do, Benno.
At least I
can't
think it.
remember. Last year, Shane hit us with a Kendra Lust question or something like that. That was it. So he's obviously got a yearly want to get it in. But anyway, we'll go with you, Benno and Bruce first.
Yeah, I got to throw this one out. I'm pretty sure it's Davie Richards, and it went in type. It went 45 minutes, and he did a big speech at the end as well.
Thank the
Can't
local
remember
talent.
finisher. And Matty and Andy.
Well, once again, this wasn't me, this boys. Andy went with John Morrison. He seems like the type of guy who'd do it, he said.
He certainly does, yeah. And so Davie and Brandon.
Brandon, you pick.
So we had like multiple suggestions, and we narrowed it down to one, and I suggested Solomon Crow.
The hacker getting hacked.
Makes sense. It does make sense now.
Well, there was only Benno and
deal?
Bruce that got that one right. It was Davie Richards. I'm not
bloody
quite.
hell.
I'm not quite sure whether it did go 45 minutes and he gave a big speech at the end, but you've got to hope that it did.
You showed lots of fighting spirit, mate. Lots of no selling. It was great.
3.5 stars.
Yeah. Dave gave it 6, but you know what are you going to do? You broke the scale.
Excellent. Yeah, so just the points for Bruce and Benno there. Right, next question, February. At the Impact Wrestling event, No Surrender, which was on the 18th of February, the main event was the Honor No More team of Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, PCO, Vincent, and Kenny King taking on Team Impact. But who were the members of Team Impact?
Is it a point and answer here, Martin, or a point
No,
per
just
guy?
Yeah, point per guy, yeah. So it was Team Impact. Honor No More team, Matt Taven. You're a fan of Matt Taven, aren't you, Matty? Is he one of your guys? Yeah.
I am a big fan, to be honest, here, Martin.
Was
Don't
this
know why that gets frowned upon, that, to be honest.
was this a show you were watching? This No Surrender event on the 18th?
They had like about 10 like in a row, like 3 pay-per-views with these 10-man tags on, so they all blend into each other. Oh,
yeah, I don't think this was a big event, more like a sort of Impact plus one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, plenty of guys in this one. So Braden's no longer in Mexico like he was last year, Davey. So you guys spending Christmas together this year?
Yeah, we are. He's at his girlfriend's at the moment whilst I'm all COVID-y. And yeah, he will be here. I'm cooking a big dinner, like an orphan's Christmas, having some people from work who don't have any kind of family in Toronto. So I think having about 7 of us doing a turkey and maybe a duck or a prime rib or something. Should be nice.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, excellent. Sounds good. Yeah, it was, obviously you were stuck in Mexico last year and you had COVID and you were spending Christmas alone. It was like, all coming together at once, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of nice though, take a year off from Christmas. It means more this year.
Yeah.
I know, every cloud, right?
It's coming home, right, Davey?
It's coming home.
In Argentina, it's coming out maybe. But anyway, I digress. So, Davey and Brandon, who were the members of the Team Impact taking on a No More team?
Okay, we're going with Eddie Edwards, Chris Sabin, Rich Swan, Willie Mack, and who are we picking up for the 5th, Brandon?
Oh, shit.
Rhino?
Yes. I
Rhino.
think it's Rhino.
And Benno and Bruce.
This one was pretty much all Benno here, but I think I maybe got one. But we are going with Rhino, Sabin, Rich Swan, Heath Slater, and Willie Mack.
And Matt and Oggy.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Go on,
we're going with Chris Sabin, Rhino, Eddie Edwards, Rich Swan, and always looking for a payday, Tommy Dreamer.
This could have happened.
Yeah.
It genuinely could have, but it didn't, I'm afraid.
Oh.
So you were all pretty much on the money, because the team was Chris Sabin, Willie Mack, Rhino, Rich Swan, and drumroll please, Steve Macklin.
Eddie Edwards wasn't there.
Who's
No,
Steve
no,
Macklin?
Edwards,
Explain
no
that to
Tommy
me.
Dreamer.
He's just a bloke, fella, isn't he? He's just a bloke.
Nobody screams Impact Wrestling more than Steve Macklin, don't they?
How
Not
many did we
AJ
all get there,
Styles, not
Matt?
Chris Sabin.
I'm channeling your Les Dennis here. How many did we all get there? How many did we get right?
I've got all it tallied up as a score. I think you and Andy got 3, and then Benno and Bruce got 3, and then Davie and Brandon got 4. I think the only one Davie and Brandon missed was Steve Macklin.
Brandon said Steve Macklin as well. We were I was sure Eddie Edwards was in that match.
Same here, Davie. Definitely.
So it turns out that Macklin is still forgotten and not forgotten no more.
Bruce doesn't know who he is. He never has, have you, Ben?
No, I'm in Benno's camp. I've no idea who he is. Yeah.
Could pick him out of a lineup.
Yeah, that's the one that.
Right, on to our second to last question for February. On February the 6th, Progress presented Chapter 128.
Andy, come on, mate.
The show that was main evented by Giselle Shaw versus Rio and also featured Jonathan Gresham versus Chris Ridgway in an ROH Pure Rules match. And, Cara Noir versus Dean Elmark for the Progress World title. But how much were Progress charging for front row tickets on the door on the day of the show?
Ooh, Price is Right question. Let's go.
Yeah. Does
Good
closest
question.
get the
There's
right?
dollar.
Does closest get the points, Matt?
Yeah, either bang on or closest gets the 1 point. Yeah.
So did you say on the door, Martin?
On the door. Yeah.
Specifically.
Is it dollar or pounds? Or pound
Pounds.
sterling?
Yeah.
Pound for pound.
Martin.
Yes, Andy.
Is this for standing or front row?
Yeah, front row tickets. Yeah.
Front row.
Specifics.
Yeah.
So to be clear, front row tickets are available day of, is what is reading between the lines
That
here.
says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How much quid is it?
Get the converter out.
You've got Davie there as your cash converter.
I know, yeah.
I thought I think JP and I went to the show after that one.
I was wondering if this was the one.
Yeah, so I was suddenly like, oh, but there's no way we were buying front row tickets.
Can you remember what the main event of that show you went to, Davie, was?
I saw Gresham versus Allmark, I think.
Could have been.
Yeah, I went to 2 when I was back home. Gresham and Allmark, and then Cara Noir Allmark in that unification match.
Right.
Is Gresham still the champ?
No, it's Spike Trevay's the champ. He just beat Gresham on the last show, which I watched today. 5 hours on the network.
5 hours?
5 hours.
You didn't watch all that, and
yeah, no, I
You've got a podcast anymore.
Torture.
Someone's got to keep up with it.
Do you have? You're a
I don't think
super
he
lad,
do.
aren't you? You're a proper super mate, honestly.
In Stamford, they've got this who's this? Where's this Rochdale place that keeps coming up on our streaming service? Yeah, but anyway, so right, you've had long enough to come up. So Davie and Brandon, how much was front row ticket for the Progress show in February on the door in pounds sterling?
I'm going to go with £48.
And Benno and Bruce.
We
many
had 2
ounces?
numbers. Bruce gave one, I gave one. I'm going to go back to yours. I think, Bruce, that's all right.
Sure, absolutely.
Go 40.
Yeah, we're playing
And,
the game here.
Matt and Oggy.
Andy, give this. Go on.
So it's I've gone for £37.50.
Oh, you were good to add that 50p on, Andy, because it was £38. So the point
yeah.
you and Matthew there.
Andy went in, lad.
Oh.
Come on.
You get to go to the Showcase Showdown now because of that.
Yeah.
£38 too much, but anyhow.
Yeah.
I'm sure the people out there would still pay 48, but I digress. So last question for February. This should be a doozy for Benno, but which 5 men were inducted into the inaugural ROH Hall of Fame class of 2022?
How many was the Mar? 5?
5, yeah. I think they had an honorary one, but we're not including him, just the 5 sort of wrestlers that were inducted. Have you been enjoying ROH, Benno, since Tony Khan bought it, and what's been going on with it and everything? I can't
answer the question. No. Is anyone going to watch it though? That's going to be the question.
The memories alone.
On a club. I think the fact that this week's Dynamite, they're still having the ROH guys on AEW TV. It's like, I don't think we're ever getting a hard brand split with that, because why would he? So I'm not going to hide it on the net. But my biggest issue is that Honor Club, like, it's missing the entirety of 2007. It's got like 3 shows from 2004. Like, you think they'd have that ready at least for this launch?
I love how Cesaro, the ROH champion, didn't even want to plug it. He was like, I'll fight anyone, anywhere. Rampage, Dark, Elevation, Dynamite. Not in Ring of Honor, where you're the champion, but okay, all right.
Are you sure, Andy? We're talking out loud here. Are you sure about not that other guy I threw in there?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, though, Benno, with it, Tony Khan's bought it, and then they just seem to be in the exact same position they were when Sinclair was still owning it. You know, they've not got a TV deal. They're all, the archive's not on Honor Club, and they're just going to be streaming the show on Honor Club, and it's like, wow, it just feels like 2 years ago.
Well, that's the thing. They've been like, there's been lots of people pushing back on, it doesn't affect AEW. It's just AEW with different letters. He was clearly trying to sell this to Time Warner by using their airtime as well. And you can say, I bet they're not happy. I bet they've literally said to him, you need to get this off our network. And also, please don't use our footage to sell it to somebody else. So I think he's stuck. I think that's why it ended up on Honor Club, because it wasn't worth annoying Time Warner if they didn't want it. And why would they? Especially with the Rampage numbers and Battle of the Belts and stuff. Wouldn't have done well anyway.
And the only reason that anyone would sign up for the thing is for the whole archive of Ring of Honor shows, and they're not even providing that, are they? But I suppose we've been saying that.
For a network. I really thought they'd do that. They'd do like something like that with AEW, PWG on, things like, throw some other indies in there.
Bit too obvious, that one, Ben.
Wait. So who owns how much of the stake does AEW own in Fight Network? Why don't you just turn that into like their channel? Or is that somebody
It's all Triller owned, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, right.
Right, and so we've had plenty of time to go through that one. So, which 5 men were inducted into the inaugural ROH Hall of Fame class of 2022? You'll get a point for each one. So, Matty and Oggy, you guys can go first.
Yeah, you sure? Right. This is once again mainly Andy. We've got Samoa Joe, Homicide, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and the Briscoes.
Who's Daniel Bryan?
Bryan Danielson.
Who's Bryan Danielson? That's the chicken or the egg, isn't it? Bryan Danielson.
The best wrestler in the world.
What year is it? But anyway.
Benno and Bruce.
This is all Benno. You got to take this one, man. This is
all right. If I get this wrong, though, I'll never live this. I'll never podcast again. Danielson, the Briscoes, Punk, and Joe. And we got the non-wrestler as well, if that gets us any bonus points.
No,
get on him.
And Davie and Brandon.
Brandon, go for it.
So we picked Joe, the Briscoes, Silkin, and Danielson, and Punk.
Yeah, you didn't get any extra points for Silkin, but yeah, you were bang on the money there. You and Davie and Benno and Bruce. It was Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, and the Briscoes. Yeah, so sadly no Homicide there, Matty and Oggy.
We named 6 though, Matt. We should still get that.
We could name 30. You could name the whole roster.
No, but we named them 5 guys, didn't we? We named Punk, Briscoes, Joe, and Bryan.
Yeah, but we give an extra one, Matty.
Doesn't matter, does it?
All right, well, I'm going to 30
we got 5 though, Benno. They're the 5.
You got the 5, but yeah, not the 6. Sorry, I thought you were trying to like sneak an extra one in.
Oh
there.
no, sorry, Mark. No, sorry, no, none of that.
So moving on to March now, and we've got the first of our special guests chiming in with a question.
Oh.
What's going on, y'all? It's Andrew Thompson here with the next question in the big game for my guy Martin Bushby. Shout out to everybody that's playing. The question is, WWE spends a day online hyping up a big mystery opponent for Brock Lesnar at a Madison Square Garden house show. Who does it end up being? Good luck, fellas.
So cheers to Andrew there for coming in with that question. And in case you missed it, he was saying that WWE spends a day online hyping up a big mystery opponent for Brock Lesnar at the Madison Square Garden house show. But who does his opponent end up being? Cheers again, Andrew. Merry Christmas to you, mate.
What a voice that was.
Yeah, what a silky voice. My God.
Oh, I know.
Him and Bruce
What a
Lord
guy,
duking
dude.
it out for voice of the year. You guys should do an audiobook together.
Yeah. Do you know this one, Ben?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, it was a great surprise, to be honest.
Right, so Davie and Brandon, who was the big hyped opponent for Brock Lesnar at the Madison Square Garden house show.
Pretty sure it was all day Austin Theory.
And Benno and Bruce.
Yeah, we were going with Austin Theory as well. I remember people feeling pretty deflated when that news finally came out.
And Matt and Oggy.
Yeah, we've got Theory as well.
Theory.
Yep. And just a reminder, can we have no answers in the chat, please? I seen an answer come up there. So
I went with Caval, but Davie overruled me.
Overruled.
I mean, Matt. Not that I'm trying to like take this deadly serious, but you know, we did have Theory. It wasn't Austin Theory at the time, was it? Was it just not
come
Theory
on.
at the time?
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Based on the last question, I just should have said the entire WWE roster. One of them was going to be right.
Just throwing it out there.
and does anyone no points? Does anyone want to guess how long it took Brock to beat him?
Under 3 minutes easily.
Yeah,
On
30
the
seconds.
Yeah.
Yep, 1 minute 37 seconds. So that was well worth the hyping that WWE gave for it. But sticking with that man, Brock Lesnar, in an interview with Fightful, Brock Lesnar said he wasn't a huge TV guy. But which 2 TV sitcoms did Brock confess to being a fan of in an interview from this month?
Oh,
So yeah, he said he wasn't a huge TV guy. Said he watches the Super Bowl, skips the halftime show, doesn't even watch UFC when he wasn't a part of it. So, but he had time for these 2 sitcoms. So I've been going around the horn, Brandon, and so sort of like what's been jumping out to you from this year wrestling? Obviously, Bruce said he's not really watching WWE, maybe watching AEW and stuff. What's something that you've been checking out weekly?
I mean, I'm AEW. Like I've been watching a lot of that lately. I'm not hardcore like some people like watching Dark Elevation and stuff like that. I mean, I remember going to that Toronto show and living through that Dark Elevation. It was so long. It was an arduous watch. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of AEW. I mean WWE. I mean the product, the weekly shows is just a labor of love, and I'll leave it to the podcasters, and I'll just listen to the recaps. But yeah, it's just mostly like AEW.
Not checking any local stuff out like Hog or anything like that.
Nah, that's more up in New York and stuff like that. Nah, that's Cena's territory, John Cena, and so no. I've been to a lot of AEW shows though. Too many. I feel like I've been traveling. I feel like I'm part of the ring crew with how many shows I've been to this year.
That goes to show how much they've killed that sort of like territory around there.
Oh my God.
Coast, yeah.
They've beaten this territory up, man. Go ahead, Texas. You have that. Wait, they're gonna be in Antonio next week? Go ahead. big beautiful women in San Antonio down the Riverwalk. Take care of those.
Wow. Anyway, Matt and Oggy, which two sitcoms did Brock Lesnar say that he watched on TV?
This is all Andy again here. Go on, Andy.
Yeah, so the two I've gone for were Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I'm not going to be happy if one of mine's in here, Andy. I'll be honest with you, fella. I won't be happy.
Wait, Brock was on Curb? Who's Brock playing on Always Sunny? A bouncer? A bar guy?
Look, if it was good enough for Piper, come on.
Brandon, I'm pretty sure it's shows he watched, not that he
I'm sorry.
I would love to see Brock and Curb now, though.
Dude,
anyway.
now I'm totally him and JB Smooth. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. What a combination.
Let's fucking go.
Benno and Bruce, what?
Yeah, we would discuss. We think he's a man of maybe not refined taste, but older shows. Like Friends was the definite. I think we both said Friends, didn't we, Bruce?
Yep.
And should we go with the other classic?
Yeah. I think keeping it on the 90s tip.
I think Seinfeld. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember him.
Oh, Andy, I'm not going to be happy, lad. I'm taking reins if one of these is in.
I was just thinking then Last of the Summer Wine, Matty.
No, I was thinking he's not asking what you like. He's asking what Brock Lesnar likes. That's what I was thinking when you typed them.
Just imagine Brock Lesnar putting his feet up and watching Detectorists or something quaint like that.
Davie and Brandon, if Brandon's controlled himself now.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Friends and Golden Girls.
No, I was gonna say Coronation Street.
That ain't a sitcom.
That classic sitcom Coronation Street, yeah, mixed up with EastEnders, yeah. So, the answer was, well done, Benno and Bruce. It was indeed Seinfeld and Friends. And then he also noted...
I'm taking over, mate. Next question. I've been bullied all quiz, boys. I'm sorry.
Well, Curb were quite close, though. Seinfeld, Larry David outright.
You know what? I was going to say that, but I had Friends and Big Bang Theory down before. As Benno said, he's not going to be watching. It's just the most popular one that's on telly. You probably watch only.
Yeah.
Big Bang was on our short list, too, yeah.
It was, to be fair, yeah.
He said Monica was his favourite character, which... Yeah, but I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that ever before. But, yeah, his favourite character. Anyway, sorry.
Who was Rey Mysterio's favourite character for Friends?
was it Rachel by any chance? Yeah,
that's right.
Classic Hollywood Reporter or whatever it was. Which wrestling promotion had a mock execution angle that involved a wrestler kneeling in the ring with a black sack over their head? In March. So from Brock Lesnar watching sitcoms to mock execution angles.
I hate that I know this.
Come on.
Of course you do, Bruce.
I'd forgotten the point of the quiz. I was about to say Muhammad Hassan, but yeah. You meant this year, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this at a Saudi show in March?
Ooh.
Dark.
Too soon? Sorry.
Yeah. World Cup's not even finished yet, Brandon. Who have you been supporting during this World Cup, Brandon? Anyway, USA or Canada?
Both flamed out. I mean, I was rocking with Spain since I got the bloodline from there, but I mean, they
are you all in on Argentina now?
Yeah. I mean, why not? But the French, they'll surrender in extra time, though.
They will indeed. Or build an imaginary wall. But anyway, so we've had enough time now. So Matt and Oggy, what promotion had a mock execution angle that involved a wrestler kneeling in the ring with a black sack over their head?
This is the last time I'm gonna trust him. I promise, right? I thought it was another one, but I'm gonna go with Andy's, and he's adamant that it's MLW.
And Benno and Bruce?
I'm 99% sure this was Control Your Narrative. This was
Davie and Brandon.
Yeah.
What are we going with, Brandon?
I mean, we both said MLW, so
MLW. Whether that actually exists or not, we think it happened.
Yeah, I heard it's an NFT.
Should have listened to JP if this is the answer.
And there's only Benno and Bruce that got it correct. It was indeed Control Your Narrative.
Andy, to be fair, mate, I had Impact, but I thought that'd be too obvious.
Yeah, because I was thinking, like with MLW, that they had all that ISIS stuff going on.
Mads Kruger and all that, weren't it? Yeah.
Contra Unit, was it? Yeah.
Contra Unit.
I mean, they barely filmed this year, though. I was keeping up with them, but they haven't done anything in a good long while. I think they got to show up in a week or two, but yeah. No, but this was the Control Your Narrative bit, and one of the breweries or tap rooms in front of a whopping crowd of 40 people or whatever.
Jesus.
And you can pay $100 to tell EC3 why you think he sucks afterwards if you haven't wasted enough of your money. Yeah.
The rant room.
The rant room, that was
rant room, yeah.
What barbarism did they do? Who'd they kill off the territory?
I was going to say, who was it? Was it just a local or was it a actual restaurant?
No, I don't know actually. I've only got what the promotion was. Yeah, I'm not sure who it was.
I'm sure.
Let us know.
I'm sure who they killed was a lib. They tried to own the libs on that show.
The lefty liberal, yeah, probably was. Yeah. I knew, of course, you were the only one to get that, Bruce. You delve into the deepest, darkest recesses of wrestling. So
there has to be some trade-off. If I don't actually, if I take care of myself, by avoiding WWE, I have to punish myself by keeping track of some of the other garbage. Yeah.
So last question.
Is CYN considered indie scum?
Yeah.
Outlaw Mud Show.
And last question for March, we've got who defeated Bron Breakker and Tommaso Ciampa to win the NXT Championship in March?
Oh yeah,
that's up Davie Street. That one. Look at
easy.
He's looking out Kennedy. Yeah, easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Then I might have to get Google out here. What you been?
I've got a clue. Don't even pretend to watch NXT 2.0. JP, read them results out, not me. Oh.
Are you a Bron Breakker guy, Andy?
I don't mind him. He's just there really for me. It's three star special at the top, especially his match with UR Nation on the last show. But yeah, he's probably the only one with a bit of star quality at the top on that show at the moment.
You can't count out Carmelo Hayes. That guy.
Carmelo's.
He's all right.
Boss him, man.
I enjoyed that. What's it? The 25-minute
Iron Survivor. Yeah, it was. Fun.
Yeah, no, that were excellent. That really good match.
Chris Elliott saying in the chat that if Davie gets this wrong, he's sacked. So we'll go with we'll go with Davie and Brandon first. Who defeated Bron Breakker and Tommaso Ciampa to win the NXT Championship?
It was Dolph Ziggler.
Benno and Bruce.
Benno's gobsmacked. Look at him.
I think we've got it. See, I said two names though, didn't I? You go for it, Bruce. You pick.
Well, is it a tag or?
No, it's a three-way. No, three-way. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, three-way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we had Ziggler as one of the names. Yeah.
Yep.
So you're going with Ziggler then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And Matty and Noggy?
Yeah.
He's here to show the world it's Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
Yep. Points all round there. So Dolph Ziggler was winning the NXT Championship in March. So moving on to April now, and WrestleMania Night 1. The Usos defeated Shinsuke Nakamura and who to retain the Tag Team Championships?
Yes.
I've still not, after my whole plan was, because obviously we did the live show, didn't we, in Leeds on the second night of WrestleMania, and then obviously we went and had a WrestleMania watch along at the Walkabout. My plan was to I'd watch the Austin match, and then my plan was to rewatch WrestleMania the next day, but I was so exhausted, and then I just completely forgot about it, so I've still never seen that first night of WrestleMania. I think I kind of watched the best bit, though, with Austin and everything, didn't I, Matty? That was what the first night was all about. The Steve
that
Austin
first night was bosh. I thought one of the probably my
Goldie
favourites.
weren't it as well?
Yeah,
that first
yeah. And Becky and
Becky
Bianca as well, yeah.
Becky Bianca, yeah.
Great show, that first night.
I quite enjoyed the second night of the what was it, Sami Zayn and
that was just Sami and
yeah.
McAfee against Theory with Vince and that with it, and Oscar stunner for Vince.
Yeah.
Well, not a stunner really, but
yeah, that was brilliant. Watching that drunk in a pub, yeah, that was hilarious
Yeah.
with all you guys and everything. Yeah,
everyone fell asleep between AJ and Edge, didn't they? Everyone just
Everyone had money on that match.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Who
If,
won that?
I think it was Gareth. Gareth won about 24 quid off
yeah,
that.
he did.
Yeah. For the nearest
who
minute.
won? Who won the quiz? Who won the quiz that night?
Oh, we got robbed. We got robbed of that.
Yeah, we come second. Me and Matty to. Oh, it were Jeff and Chris Linney.
Chris in it, yeah.
Right.
I blame the host. He didn't know what he was
I was going to say, I blame his skills, yeah.
So we've
Tuesday
just,
night
put
in
up
Texas.
we've just put out our short list of like the top matches of the year, which we're getting people to vote for and whittled down to 10. And we've put Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville in there, and that's kind of split the room. People are like, come on, you can't put that. I think it's got to go in there. I think it's one of the most memorable matches of the whole year.
Well laid out, Davie.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, unbelievable.
But it's like that Hogan Rock one you were on about earlier, Matty. You know, it's about the feeling you get when you're watching it on the night, sort of thing.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
not,
we've all got.
not all
What I
matches
love.
can be broken down, sort of like.
This is
move
what I
for move,
mean. We
haven't
all
they?
have opinions, and that's what I always say. The beauty of it all is 7 of us here could have the most different opinion on it, but stuff like that with the spectacle and you just can't deny that. For me, you just can't.
Exactly. Right. So, Matty and Oggy, who was Shinsuke Nakamura's tag team?
You've got to say it properly, Andy. You've got to say it how he says it. Come on.
Rick.
Benno and Bruce.
Took us a minute to get the name. I was typing, the guy with the Yngwie Malmsteen gimmick and everything. But yes, we were able to come up with Rick Boogs in time.
Yes, he's very much a Malmsteen wannabe, isn't he? And Davie and Brandon.
Yeah, go ahead, Brandon.
Mr. Boogs, Rick Boogs.
Sponsored by Mike's Hard Lemonade, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And a bunch of, Nissan SUV commercials about driving off into the woods and going camping. Yeah.
And Stackers, too. And,
yeah, Stackers.
I missed the Stacker 2 act, man.
What was that? What was it, Bruce?
Speed. It's just trucker speed.
It's what Jesse took. It's what Jesse took on Saved by the Bell to stay away.
I thought that was 5-hour energy.
Reference if ever I heard one. Yep, it was indeed Mr. Boogs. Points all around there. And on to the second question in April. In 8th of April tweet, what did Tony Khan blame for the staunch anti-AEW online community? So Tony was very upset about this staunch anti-AEW online community, but where did he lay the blame? It was a bit got a lot of traction at the time. How do you feel about promoters on Twitter, David? Do you feel like Tony Khan's someone who's on Twitter a bit too much? He seems to be sort of like on there quite a bit, but then I suppose you're getting that one-on-one interaction with the fans that, other promoters might miss out on by not being on Twitter.
It's a two-part answer. Like half of it, like if you're using Twitter to promote, cool. If you're using it to do things like he's doing here, no. But do I find it very entertaining? Yes. So Tony Khan's meltdowns on Twitter are pretty funny and pretty entertaining. Do I think it's probably best for business? No. Yeah,
that's one of you get a lot of schadenfreude, don't you, using Twitter, especially when we get moments like that. So Benno and Bruce, what did Tony Khan blame for the staunch anti-AEW online community?
We've got bot farms, bots in general.
And Davie and Brandon.
I'm gonna say those the same problems that Elon Musk is looking for, those bots.
And Matt and Oggy.
Twitter trolls, bots.
Yep, points all around there. It was indeed Twitter bots that he blamed for that. And third question coming out of April in reference to this year's WWE Hall of Fame. Who tweeted out? Obviously, I understand it's difficult to fit everything into one speech and remember every single person you want to mention. but it would have been really nice to hear my dad's name mentioned in reference to a WWE Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah, I know. Who said it?
Yeah, who said it?
Got that
Sorry,
one.
can you just repeat the wording of the question?
Yep. In reference to this year's WWE Hall of Fame, who tweeted out? Obviously, I understand it's difficult to fit everything into one speech and remember every single person you want to mention, but it would have been really nice to hear my dad's name mentioned.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame, not watched it in years. I think the last time I watched the Hall of Fame was when was it when someone went to attack Brett and a fan attacked Brett and he got like knocked out by the rest of the Hart
FTR
family,
made the
yeah.
save, of course.
Oh yeah.
That was 2019 because that was in New York, right? That was at.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
I think that was while the MSG show was going on, the ROH New Japan.
So, Davie and Brandon, who tweeted that out?
It was about Mick Foley, so I assume it was Noel.
And Benno and Bruce?
Yeah, Benno had the buzzer beater there. We were originally going with Charlotte, but then Benno remembered that it was probably Noel. I'm assuming this is in reference to the Taker induction. Yeah.
Was it the first Noel?
Or Dewey, or Frank the Clown. One of the two.
Matt and Oggy?
Yeah, that's who we had, yeah. When you first said it, Cody first coming to me mind. I just thought it was something he'd tweet out. But it was Noel Foley about Taker, yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah. He didn't mention...
He didn't mention the Hell in a Cell, did he?
No, we didn't mention Foley at all, considering sort of like that was one of the biggest feuds of his whole career, and you know, really got him through those late 90s. And
first time he wrestled someone that worked like a monster or a giant or whatever, really.
First good match he had, I'd probably say, Matty. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't get. I think that one's bad, but I think the worst ever is remember when Rikishi went in and he didn't even mention Too Cool, and they had the Usos come out and do the dance as well.
Yeah, that's poor.
It's horrible.
And that was not long after they'd all appeared together at Red Pro, because they had the whole of Too Cool and Rikishi at a Red Pro show. I think the same one that Okada debuted on. I mean, what a random show that was to witness live. Too Cool as the
literally resurrected
main event, yeah.
Rikishi's career, didn't it? You know.
Yeah. But anyway, so on to the last question for April. How did Loki spend the majority of his tag team match against the Briscoes at the WrestleCon Super Show? Loki was
all about that.
Yep. Doing Loki at a wrestling show, I guess. He always seems to get in trouble, doesn't he, over a Mania weekend, Benno? He always seems to sort of like, not be focusing on what's important.
We've learned this year from CM Punk. We could all do with some more people who take this wrestling business seriously. We don't need fights and stuff backstage, but people who put the foot down. I think that's what Brandon will do. Keeps a track of his wins and losses, takes it all very seriously. We need more Lokis in the wrestling world, in my opinion.
It's a shame they didn't get him back for that sort of like when they first bought ROH. That is a shame. But anyway. So, Davie and Brandon, what did Loki spend most of the match against the Briscoes at WrestleCon Super Show doing?
Go ahead, Brandon.
Go ahead. I insist. You do.
I'm pretty sure he was calling out a guy in the front row, like getting in his face, calling him all kind of words and stuff.
And Benno and Bruce?
Yeah. Being Loki kind of sums it up, doesn't it? But yeah, go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah, just getting into it with a fan in the front row for about 15 minutes, challenging him to come on in and all that sort of stuff. I don't know if we can get a bonus point for knowing who his tag partner is in that match. Just floating the idea.
No, but you can't tell us.
It was Homicide that he was tagging with.
Classic combination. And Matt and Oggy, it was
Yeah, we've got that because he was literally like carrying on with the spots and then turning back, wasn't he, to like argue with them even more? It was just like he wouldn't let it go.
Brilliant
match. Yeah,
it's Match of Mania weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always Mania weekend, either no shows or something happens, and then when he does show up, he ends up spending the whole match like arguing.
Remember
with the
when
fan,
was it Suzuki or Ridley was supposed to lose to? And he was like, I'm not doing it. I haven't had a good enough fight camp. It's like, it's a work, mate.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's the thing when you say he takes it far too seriously.
And wasn't that like some sort of like memorial show, or hadn't they done some sort of like observance for somebody who passed away? Like I remember there being something that was a little bit kind of more solemn and
Hancock Memorial
serious.
Show?
That's that every year, isn't it? On that WrestleCon, yeah, that show.
Yeah, and they
Mark
just finished
Hitchcock,
kind of and they just kind of finished doing the little observance of that, and then you're trying to have this nice little human moment, and then oh no, boom, just back into the indie.
Did he have his Hitman stuff on, Benno? Like the Hitman films, he had the fucking braces with the guns and all.
He'd gone full 12-year-old dressed as a gangster rapper. He was doing full Rottweilers, backwards cap, all of that. Bandana.
Did he challenge the fans' leftist politics?
I think that was Austin Aries you're thinking of.
Yeah. Oki had some choice comments to make about COVID and stuff, didn't he? But less said about the better. Right, moving on to May, and it's our second special guest with a hell of a question for you.
Hello, everybody. Jamesy here, and have I got a question for you? Which ex-WWE personality said this about everyone's favorite WWE brand? You can't talk shit about me just because Nick can't forgot y'all exist. You ain't better than me, motherfuckers. You not better than me. NXT UK is crazy, man. I'm gonna say this. If you work for WWE and you want to stay there forever, get transferred to NXT UK. You could be number 1 on FBI's most wanted list, kidnap 3 families, shoot up the Popeyes down the street, and they'll put you in a program with Ilya Dragunov. They don't give a shit.
Cheers to Jamesy for that one. Merry Christmas to you, mate. Nothing beats Jamesy sort of like sat reading a quote in his with his smooth Irish tones.
getting the proper Charles Dance experience, that you get on Big Fat Quiz there from Jamesy. That's wonderful.
Indeed.
Popeye's chicken got me hungry.
Yeah, Popeye's popping up around the UK now. So, cheers to Jamesy for that. Always great hearing from him. But quite a long quote there. I'm not going to read it out again. So, who was that quote attributed to? Davie and Brandon.
I'm pretty sure it was Stokely Hathaway in a stand-up comedy set.
Mm-hmm.
Former Malcolm Bivens.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, same. Malcolm Bivens, Stokely Hathaway.
And Matt and Oggy.
Yeah,
Andy sent that one over.
Yeah, Stokely Hathaway, Malcolm Bivens.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I can remember that coming out, and everyone was like, "Wow, that clip just was everywhere, weren't it?" And I was like, "Yep, that's fantastic." Put you in a program with.
I thought you were just reading off the transcript for the last episode of BWE, but apparently it was Stokely. Yeah.
On to June now, and what was the original main event for the ill-fated Wrestling Entertainment Series debut show at the Nottingham Motorpoint
Andy,
Arena?
you must know this one, big man.
So it changed loads. There was loads of issues. Obviously, none of the shows ended up happening. It was all just a big, huge mess, like most things in Brit Rest end up being. But there was an original main event for this show, and who was it? There was no chance that show was ever happening, was there? With the ticket prices and the people who were involved, and there's never any chance of that
just
happening.
Just a countdown, laddie. How many stories do you hear like that? But that one went down to the wire. Yeah, the authors of pain trying to don't know where that idea came from.
Nia Jax in it as well.
Yeah. And poor Matthew Raywalt was the one guy who actually got on a plane and went out there assuming that it was going to be going on. And so he was
was he?
Yeah, and he spent a few days just kind of bumming around, like meeting up with fans and everything like that, trying to kind of
Impact pay-per-view off, didn't he, for it as well? I'm sure he did. He was meant to do commentary for it, yeah.
He did a meet and greet, didn't he, on his own dime, but it was like nowhere near where the show was supposed to be.
Mojo
that was Mojo, I think.
Mojo.
They won in London and the show was in Nottingham or something like that.
and then the second incarnation, they brought all like the British wrestlers in, didn't they? Like Scottish ones, and never gonna happen.
Right, so Davie and Brandon, what was the original planned main event, the first one that was advertised when tickets went on sale?
We would like to say that it was going to be Braun Strowman versus Alistair Overeem of UFC fame.
And Benno and Bruce?
Yeah, exactly the same. Although if we want to be pedantic, I'm sure he was probably being billed as Adam Scherer rather than as Braun Strowman there.
That's
Just,
true.
you know,
I'm big on that, the detail.
dotting I's and crossing T's. But yeah.
But what name carries more money, more weight? Adam
Braun,
Scherer?
it is Braun, it is Braun.
And Matt and Oggy.
Once
Yeah,
again,
so it's
Andy,
Alistair Overeem versus Adam Scherer.
Yeah.
Yep, all
That's
correct
just
all
'cause you
around
did
there.
Let me
Yeah.
It
ask
was
you this:
built-
what
Billed as Adam
chapter?
the Titan Scherer.
Titan, yeah.
Titan, yeah, Rick Titan. What chapter was the Authors of Pain during their run in this book? Which...
That was the epilogue, I think. Yeah.
Yep. Didn't you meet Braun Strowman at one of them wrestling cons in Liverpool, Matty?
Oh yeah, we didn't we? We didn't really meet him. He was just like walking past, wasn't he, Ben? That one. Yeah, but he was he seemed all right. Big slap of the hand, Matt, and all that.
He's getting paid well.
He won that
He
rumble.
wrestled on it as well. He
He won
wrestled
that,
on it as well.
that 40-man rumble or whatever, weren't he?
Yeah, seeing Braun Strowman and Sam Bailey have a wrestle was not something I ever expected
Yeah.
to see in my life, but it did happen.
He threw him out last.
Yeah, Andy was in Braun's corner. Don't know why, but anyhow.
Classic. Was he going as Adam Scherer then? I'm assuming at that for Love of Wrestling.
Yeah,
convention?
he was. Yeah.
Because they had him on and they had Eric Redbeard on, and who did they put Eric Redbeard against? He worked him on like a Raw.
Sonny Durson, because
Sonny
it
Durson,
was a rematch of the Raw taping.
And he gave him nothing. He gave him absolutely nothing. It was awful. He wasn't interested at all in wrestling this skinny English boy.
I don't blame him. Second question for June. Dave Meltzer gave Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins from Hell in a Cell a 5-star rating. So this was the first non-NXT WWE match to receive such an honor in a very, very long while. What was the previous non-NXT WWE branded match that received 5 stars from Big Dave? So non-NXT, but WWE branded. Was that this year for the Love of Wrestling Con, Benno, then? Or was that the previous year?
Was it this year, Matt? I can't remember now.
Yeah, that was. That was
this year.
It was, yeah.
It wasn't as good as the last time. Like
the last time was unbelievable. Oh, honestly, boys. Unbelievable stuff.
Oh, was that when you were hanging out in the bar with the wrestlers after and all that?
Yeah, seen like shoe fights nearly happened, didn't we, Ben? A lot, like.
Oh my god, yeah. We can say it now. Scott Hill's gone. Him and somebody else, I suppose he can remain nameless, having to be separate. Almost, me and Matty almost have to jump in.
He's going to go off.
But yeah. We also, some stars from the 80s not covering themselves in glory, I would say, was the main thing from that.
Like Marty Jannetty dancing in a pool's, what was it? A hotel sort of like spa they had in the middle. I remember that being from one of the WrestleMania weekends. That was, always covering themselves in glory, aren't they? These old 80s wrestlers. But anyway, so obviously the question was Dave Meltzer gave Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins from Hell in a Cell 5-star rating, but what was the previous non-NXT WWE branded match to receive 5 stars from Big Dave? And we'll go with Matt and Andy first.
It was John Cena versus CM Punk from Money in the Bank 2011.
Benno and Bruce.
Yeah, we'll go with it. Cena Punk. I couldn't remember if it was 4.75 or 5, but I'm pretty sure it was the full 5, which is like an 8 in today's money.
Yeah. And Davie and Brandon.
Yeah, the same. Punk v Cena in Chicago. Money in the Bank.
Well remembered, everybody. Yes, it was. It was Punk v Cena in Chicago. So next up, we've got which 6 flags are represented on the AEW All Atlantic Championship belt?
That's a great question, that.
Brilliant.
Well, Atlantic. We've seen that defended live, haven't we, Andy? At that show.
We did.
That wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Who were it against now?
Shota Umino.
Shota Umino, yeah. Remember that one. And then he faced Connor Mills in Manchester, of all things. Like, come on, we know who's winning that one.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah,
he
but
wasn't happy with your singing, was he? Pac wasn't happy with your singing during that show, was he? You were coming out with some doozies there, and he almost walked out of the ring in disgust.
He did, but at least Taz sung along to it on what's it, AEW Dark.
Oh yeah, he did. I forgot about that. Yeah,
he did. Who's a bastard? Who's a bastard? He's brilliant, Taz. Love him.
That was brilliant. Yeah, I remember that now. That clip going around and Taz singing along with you guys. So which 6 flags are represented on the AEW All Atlantic Championship belt? And Davie and Brandon, you can go with that one first.
I think Japan, Canada, USA, UK, Australia, and Mexico.
Pretty much half of NAFTA.
Benno and Bruce.
Okay, Mexico, Japan, the UK. We've got Mexico, Japan, the UK, Canada. Did we have any others, Bruce? US. Oh, we had US. Sorry, US as well. Is there one more? Is that 5?
Matt and Oggy?
Yeah, so we've gone for Japan, Mexico, Canada, the UK, Australia, and USA.
Right, so you all pretty much got 5 out of 6 there because the countries were Mexico, China.
Oh, instead of Australia.
Yep. The United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, and Japan.
I think this one popped Karen in the chat. Yeah, she's been a lot. Didn't she go across the Atlantic to go to Japan? I'm pretty sure that's how that works, right? Yeah. That's how geography works.
I guess that must have been in the works back when Shima and OWE was still had the AEW tie-in.
God,
on the Atlantic.
Remember
OWE
UK, Martin?
You what? Sorry.
Remember OWE UK when they were going to come over?
Oh yeah, that was like a thing.
They were going to run the Black E, weren't they, Benno? I seem to remember. And what's it? Luchasaurus was supposed to come over for that one as well.
Benno, shouldn't that belt just not exist though? Let's be honest. Why does it exist?
I mean, that could be any belt in AEW or ROH.
In terms of great wrestling Twitter moments, I think Shima replying to that OWE tweet, basically saying that they were kind of shutting down for the time being, and him being like, "What's going on?" And it's like, is that not your account? What the hell?
That's Brit Rest just summed up that. It's always like, oh, this is happening, but a tweet by the promotion, then the wrestler goes, what's going on here? Or no, I haven't been paid yet, or something like that. That's just Brit Rest in a nutshell. Like, I wasn't surprised to see that come out from Shima. But anyway, so we're on to the last question for June. And during the highly praised Will Ospreay versus Nick Wayne match at GCW, I Never Liked You, Ospreay lands on his feet after countering Wayne's avalanche poison rana. They then went into the usual shocked face stare down routine, which lasted how many fucking seconds?
Closest to getting him out.
Closest to bang on the money, yeah. So I remember this gif going around everywhere and people being like, what is this? So love Ospreay, but some of that stuff's got to go. So should have all those answers locked in now. So we'll go with you first, Matt and Oggy. How many seconds did the stare down go on for?
1 sec, Matt. Wait there, let me just ask him one this right there.
Right.
Right there. You right with that or not?
Yeah, I'm happy with that, Matty.
That in the middle, meet in the middle. Yeah. I said 36. I said 36. He said 18. So we're meeting in the middle, kind of at like 20. What do you want to go with?
24. 24.
We're going 24, kind of in the middle. Yeah, 24.
Okay, Benno and Bruce.
Yeah, doing the same thing, splitting the difference, and we're going a bit shorter though with 19.
And Davie and Brandon.
I was gonna say 25 minutes.
You might win here then because it's the highest. Good tactic.
You got to pick your first answer.
Who is it?
No, that's-
Fujita
The Fujita match was last year.
Yeah. I thought it was like, I thought, was it longer than the Fujita stare down? Which is probably one of the great matches I've ever seen. I love that. That was pure comedy wise. Great, epic stare down.
So you're saying 25 minutes?
Yes.
Right.
No,
So,
If we lose by 1 point here,
Can I change my answer? Can I change my answer? In all seriousness, I'm gonna say
go for it.
10 seconds.
Oh, and that has won you the point, Brandon. It was indeed 12 seconds.
come on, you beautiful man.
Would have lost it anyway, and to be fair, damn it.
I know.
Or as Shane put, 12 fucking seconds, 12 seconds of both men exchanging shock faces in the middle of the match. So on to July now. We're sort of halfway through this thing. And backstage at Death Before Dishonor, Jonathan Gresham gets into a spat with Tony Khan. And so John went out for his ROH title match against Claudio Castagnoli with a sulky face and without his octopus costume. What publication did Jonathan Gresham utilize in his attempt to be taken more seriously by the AEW and ROH booker?
Yeah.
Call that a publication. Death Before Dishonor. Does that live in the memory that was that the second ROH pay-per-view from Tony Khan, Benno?
I think it was, yeah. But yeah, that was just, it was one of those, that boo-boo face, like say coming out in the t-shirt, not having the jacket on, like you knew what was coming. Poor John. Those pure rules meant so much to him. Only him, no one else.
That was when Gresham was in the Mon Calamari phase of his career, right?
Yeah, he needs to like if you brought him back, put him in the pure division, like just so it's not literally Wheeler Yuta against Daniel Garcia every month. I think that would work out well as world champion. I think Tony Khan probably made a good call.
So anyway, what did he use to utilize in his attempts to be taken more seriously by the AEW and ROH booker? Davie and Brandon, will go with you guys first.
I assume PWI top 500.
And Benno and Bruce.
Yeah,
PWI
exactly the same.
500, yeah.
Don't know off the top of my head what number he was ranked in that issue.
He would have
but
been top
I'd be
5,
curious
wouldn't he,
to know.
to use it, maybe, I'd say. But yeah, we've got that as well there, Matt.
Yeah.
We've got that.
Paid a lot of money to get into that top 6.
Yeah.
And he was 6.
Was he 6, was he?
Probably.
Was he? Oh, yeah. I haven't got the number down here, but yeah, he used his placement in the PWI 500, so of course he did. But on to the next question. What colour was the tractor that Brock Lesnar rode to the ring in his SummerSlam match versus Roman Reigns? So, big famous moment this. What colour was the tractor that Brock?
I should know this. When I was putting my Halloween costume together, I was looking at a lot of pictures of Brock messing around with tractors and stuff in his cowboy outfit.
I was gonna say, were you gonna grow that ponytail out for that costume?
Hey, when I met you, Brandon, that was the first thing you said to me was that you thought me and Braden were twins. I'll take that as a compliment. I think that's fair. I'll have that.
Ginger.
It might be just be the hat and the beard.
It was a good Halloween costume, that, Benno.
Very good. Very creative, Ben. Yes.
It was one of them. They called Brock Lesnar for my entire adult life. It was like, and I had a beard. Just buy a hat for £10 off Amazon, sorted. Borrow Steph's WWE Women's title. There you go.
Oh, is that what you had? The women's title,
Yeah.
was it?
Only one person caught on, or at least commented on it. I think, yeah, it was the white one, wasn't it? That's the women's belt. But papered over it a little bit,
Oh, it still looked good anyway. Not many people noticed. So anyway, Matt and Oggy, what colour was the tractor?
Well, Andy's made a judgment call here, and I'm gonna go with it. We had the same at first, but he's just had a judgment call, and we're gonna go with something more that fit in a Brock Lesnar, something a bit more evil, a red one. We're gonna go with.
And Benno and Bruce.
Yeah, red.
And Davie and Brandon.
Red. We say red.
To match his big red face.
Yeah. When he's exasperated.
Points all round there. Yes, it was indeed a red tractor. And sticking with the colours here, let's quite a colourful round here. What colour was the shirt that Ric Flair wore in his last match with Andrade versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett?
Was it a shirt or was it just his own skin color being battered?
It's one or the other, Andy. Yeah. I'd say that though.
I don't suppose this match is in your in the Poison Rana top 10 of the year, is it, Davey?
It was flirting with it, but no.
I enjoyed it. I mean, be a sadist.
The lucha match on that show, though, the
that was
four-way,
good.
five-way, that was very close to
Very
making
good.
the top.
Yeah, they did proper stack the undercard of that show, didn't they?
It
Because
was
they
pretty
obviously
fun.
weren't sure how Flair was going to be in the main event, so they proper stacked the undercard of it. But you say you enjoyed it as a sadist, Benno, the main event.
Oh yeah, like it was some of the best work of Jay Lethal's career, which isn't saying much. But thought him and Jarrett were great boss in that match. You know, bought into it because literally it looked like he was going to die. Kind of worked as a piece of business. I think you couldn't watch it live though. If you watched it live, it'd be too scary. I think watching it the morning after, knowing he was all right, or at least as all right as you can be.
Benno, I feel you're like me though. You enjoyed that Goldberg Undertaker match as well, didn't you? Like...
Oh yeah. I love all the Goldberg's runs, to be honest.
Yeah.
Same.
That video though for the build up to that tag match was great in the parking lot, was it? Where they had done flaring. Oh, it was amazing that.
I think that's got Lethal and Jarrett at AEW, or at least Jarrett. Like that's literally what's happening, isn't it? Tony Khan saw that and has put them together.
Yeah.
What baffles me though is Flair says about how he passed out a couple of times, and he says it was only because I was dehydrated. I was trying to cut weight. And I didn't eat or drink all day. It's like, why? You're wearing a fucking t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's not a legit sport. Why are you trying to cut weight at 76
wait
years
for an
old?
MMA fight?
Yeah, like, what are you doing? Just eat, drink some water. It's fine.
From the earlier question, did Loki have him in a fucking training camp or something? Come on, Rick, goddammit. Anyway, so what colour was the shirt he wore in the match? Davey and Brandon, go you guys first.
We think it's blue.
Yeah.
Benno and Bruce?
See, I think it was kind of like bluish, but more of a light purple was sort of what I remembered.
And
see, this is where I'm genuinely colorblind. So this is where I am. I genuinely am, and these are the ones I struggle with. I've got what did you say, And?
I said
I've said blue, but he says purple. But
so I'll go with only wanna see you wrestle in your purple shirt. There you go.
What a song. And yep, Andy, you were right, and obviously Bruce and Benno right there. Yes, it was a purple t-shirt. And last question for this month. What match was longer? So these matches all took place in July. What match was longer? Brock v. Roman, Flair and Andrade versus Lethal and Jarrett. Which was longest out of those two matches?
Which Brock v. Roman match? They were like 10.
The one.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, the SummerSlam one, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like this is a trick question.
It's close.
Do you think Brock v. Roman's done now, Matty, as a thing? Sort of like
I hope not. I hope not, Matt. I really hope not. But
really? Oh, I thought even you would have had enough of that one by now.
No, well, you've always got the one now that they can come back and actually have a match without a title on the line. So they got that title.
Right.
They never had a match without the world title on the line. Just a grudge, you know what I mean?
Have they ever had a Hell in a Cell either? Have they had a Hell in a Cell match?
No, never. No.
Right.
You had a cage match, but never a Hell in a Cell.
Right, I'm surprised they've never had one of them. That's weird. Right,
but
Lesnar's
sorry, bad, but Lesnar's meant to be fighting Gunther, isn't he, at WrestleMania? That's one.
Yeah, that's the rumor, isn't it? Yeah, that's the big rumor.
Who'd have thought Walter would be the one who has the good WWE run? Like, we were all convinced he'd be back in Rev Pro by now. Back in WXW, you know?
Lesnar will squash him, like, only. Definitely.
I'm sure there's audio of like me, Benno, and Andy, or maybe Jamesy talking about. Well, Walter, he's never going to be facing Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, is he? Let's be serious.
Get a bad gimmick and everything.
Yeah.
I've said a lot of things wouldn't happen in WWE, but that has changed since Vince left. So might owe Matty some money by the end of the year.
So Benno and Bruce, which was longer, Brock v Roman or Flair and Andrade versus Lethal and Jarrett?
Unless you're doing some trick here where it's, the question is for how long of the match was Ric Flair actually conscious? And then in that case, it might be shorter. I seem to remember the Flair one going like 20, 22 minutes. So that's what we're going with.
Davie and Brandon?
Yeah, I don't think there was much in it. We'll lean towards Roman Brock.
Yeah, we're going with Roman and Brock with all the nonsense with the tractor and stuff. It must have dragged out that as well. So,
but you're not counting how many times Flair was resuscitated for length of the fight match, right?
How much he had to go under the apron for some oxygen? Yeah, no, but it was. I'm afraid there's only Benno and Bruce that's got that correct. It wasn't much in it. Flair's last match went 26 minutes and 40 seconds, and Brock v Rome was 22 minutes and 55 seconds. But yeah, like you say, Matty, all that nonsense with the tractor and that, I did feel a lot longer watching that one. But only 22 minutes. Surprised at that. But anyway, moving now into August, and which stable broke up on the August the 3rd Dynamite?
Oh, could be anyone. That literally fell. That could be back-to-back segments. We could happen twice.
Only one on that one.
Is the
Jeez.
What, August?
Yep, August the 3rd Dynamite.
Bloody hell, there's so many stables.
Could be the fucking. I don't know.
Fuck.
Do you reckon Andy that? Or was that well before that? They haven't only been a thing, have they, for that long? Like, saying that's 5 months. No. Do you reckon? Sorry, we're talking.
It's all right. I'm calling time now anyway. So, Benno and Bruce, which stable broke up on the August 3rd Dynamite?
I'll go with your answer, Bruce. Let's do it.
Okay, sure.
Andy,
Brandon?
I'm making a call, and
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, us.
Yeah,
we're going to go with the Hardy family office.
Wait, Andy said that, but I'm going against it. I'm sorry, Andy.
No.
Yeah, I've got to.
Go on, Matt and Andy.
It's up to you.
I go with mine, Hardy family office. I know he's like it hangs around like a bad smell, Matt Hardy, but he's got to be.
I'm afraid you're all wrong. No points for anybody
Matt,
there.
it's not the inner circle, is it?
Nope.
Oh, so like that.
No.
Undisputed Elite.
Right.
Oh yes, the Undisputed Elite.
Oh, them.
Yeah, we considered in a circle, but that would have been further away, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I was. That's the only thing. I didn't know when that happened. What month, like?
The fact that the other three guys just disappeared off of television immediately thereafter kind of makes it difficult to remember that even happening.
I was rooting for the HFO to be right because there's so many wrestlers.
They just patched over. They never broke up. They've just patched over. It was passed through escrow or something like that.
They've had a few different owners in that office.
Yeah.
It's a shame they're never in an office though. They're always working on the
standing in front of a telly. That's all they were doing.
Just sat on the steps, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right, on to the second question for August. What former NXT and WWE superstar re-debuted on the August the 5th SmackDown? I've got a little hint for you here. Minoru Suzuki called him a fucking young boy earlier in the year during a Mania weekend match that Suzuki won in under 10 minutes. So someone re-debuting on August the 5th SmackDown. There's been a lot of re-debuting people this year. Obviously, me and Benno know that you keep up sort of like mainly with the Brit Rest stuff, but do you watch much Raw and SmackDown then, Andy?
To be honest, not in the last couple of months because I got shut at BT Sport because it was costing too much. But, no, Generally now, I try to see some of the highlights on Channel 5, but it's mainly NXT and AEW that I keep up with now. But it's one of them. I read the results, see what's going on. It's a good thing, to be honest, because I enjoy the pay-per-views more without watching the TV.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was recording those highlights off Channel 5 or whatever on the Skybox, and then I looked one day and they were taking up, like, because I'd not watched any of them, they were taking up about 60% of the memory on there, and I was like, yeah, I should probably get rid of all of these, because I'm same as you. You know, you record these highlights and then you know all the results and everything by the time you get around to watching it anyway, so it's pretty irrelevant. But anyway, back to the question. So which former NXT and WWE superstar re-debuted on the August 5th SmackDown who Minoru Suzuki called a fucking young boy? We'll go with Benno and Bruce.
Yeah, could have been a lot of people, couldn't it? The amount of people Triple H was bringing back. But yeah, Karrion Kross, we think. We talk, yeah, but we'll go into it. Yeah, Karrion Kross.
And Matt and Oggy?
Yeah, we've got Killer Cross, Karrion Kross down.
Yeah.
And Davie and Brandon?
Yeah, Karrion Kross.
Do you consider him a superstar
now? Triple H does.
No, yeah.
I liked him in Impact, though, I'll be honest. I did like him in Impact. Points
all round there, yep. He was the person who Minoru Suzuki was referring to as a fucking young boy.
That Suzuki match was a crying shame. I was saying to Benno in the chat, there's like there's a kind of like a basement floor of what, you know, Suzuki versus local US indie guy is going to reach.
Yeah, the copy and paste match.
Yeah, and Cross could not reach up to that, unfortunately.
It was his cross to bear.
It was indeed. So back to AEW, and the AEW Trios tournament kicked off in August, featuring 8 teams: Death Triangle, United Empire, La Faction Ingobernable. Sorry, I absolutely butchered that. I apologize. The Elite, House of Black, Dark Order, and Best Friends. But who was the 8th team for the AEW Trios tournament?
Sorry, can you read out the ones again that you did name?
Yep. Death Triangle, United Empire, La Faction Ingobernable. I apologize to any Hispanic people out there. The Elite, House of Black, Dark Order, and Best Friends.
Tempted to make you repeat that again, Martin, just for the LIJ.
Sorry, can you repeat one more time?
Say it slowly.
Death Triangle, United Empire, the Hispanic titled one in Gombenal.
La Faction Unpronounceable.
House of Black, Dark Order, and Best Friends. And you see, this is why I wonder when I go to Spain and I try and order a drink at the bar, they just look at me confused. So yeah, I'll leave it to my beautiful wife, who's pretty fluent in Spanish, to do the ordering of the food and drinks.
Nice.
So, who was the 8th team in the AEW Trios tournament? Davie and Brandon.
We'll go with the Factory.
Benno and Bruce.
We could go with one of the many money-related stables that Tony Khan has had in the company, but I think it was Trustbusters on this one.
And Matty and Andy.
Yeah, Andy went with the Factory straight away.
Yeah,
so
I did. But you've got to have some shit asses in the tournament, so we went with the Factory.
Only Benno and Bruce getting the point there. It was in fact the Trustbusters. Ari Daivari, Parker Bordeaux, and Slim J.
Points all round. They're the same thing. They're the same thing. Points all round.
Hardy Family Office, Andrade Family Office. We're all fighting over contracts, aren't we?
And the G1 Climax finished up in August with 4 blocks and 4 block winners. Who were the 4 block winners?
Fucking hell.
Tough one to end out August. So a point for each.
Is anybody else teaming with somebody who did G1 reviews this year, or is it just me?
I think it's just you, mate. I'm assuming you and Braden aren't watching the G1 religiously, Davie.
We haven't this year. No, I mean, we're going to be watching some of the matches for our best of the year thing, but Yeah, this year was first. Like this year and last year really felt checked out of it, and the 4 group thing really didn't make it exciting at all. I didn't think.
What, Andy? Why not him?
Nah.
You sure?
Yeah, I think he's. I don't really watch New Japan, but I think he's been doing 6-mans a lot.
I'd definitely, if I had a gun to my head, mate, I'd either be dead or I've got to go with him. You've got to.
Matty, do you want to tell the post viewers and listeners how you feel about wrestling for points? Any comment? Or...
Why does it exist? Why does it exist? It's like it's fucking awful.
Oh, I forgot this is Matty making his post debut tonight, isn't it?
I'm not going to go down well with that shout, have I?
Big moment, yeah.
It is. Hello, everyone. Now, Andy, I'm sorry. I've got to make a decision, and we've got to go with him, lad.
Nah.
Andy,
He's been nowhere near.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Did you watch much of the G1, Brandon? Did you watch much of the G1 this year?
I mean, I'm not really.
No.
I wasn't really feeling it this year. I'm with Davie. The group stages, trying to make it like the World Cup of. I wasn't really feeling that.
Benno, but you know what? I
kind of watered down product this year.
To cut it off there, Brandon, but I know at least you're honest, Benno. Of like, it's like a thing when like people say, "Did you watch G1?" Everyone's like, well, just say no, it's crap. No one's gonna say that about it. Like, you Benno, that says, isn't it? That it's shit. You're honest. You know what I mean?
It's usually good though. It's just
come on, no.
It is.
I mean, plus the time zone is really, I gotta work early in the morning. I can't work. I can't be bothered with it.
Right, I think we've had enough time. So, Andy and Matt.
Tactics to this question.
Right.
Andy, right. Don't. I was going to say, don't you dare say him because it's not
right. I've got the 4 here. So, Will Ospreay, Naito, Zack, and Okada.
And Benno and Bruce.
Go ahead, Bruce.
This should have been a lot easier for me, given that I did 50% of the writing about the G1 for Post and did a bunch of the podcasts and everything with John. But I think we've got it correct in going with Okada, Ospreay, Naito, and then the dark horse, which Benno remembered at the last second, Tama Tonga.
And Davie and Brandon.
Yeah, we got Okada, Tama Tonga, Ospreay, and then it was the 4th one we were struggling with, so we went Jay White.
Well, you, Davie and Brandon got 3 points. Matty and Oggy 3 points. We're the only ones with all 4 points. So it's Benno and Bruce. Yeah, plus Tama Tonga. Yep. So
a great memory you've all got.
Bad year for the G1 if he's reaching it. The
Morocco of the G1. Yeah.
I was adamant, Davie, with Jay White myself. Like, to be honest, I thought he was definitely in there, but no.
He was champ though, wasn't he? Or still is?
I thought that's what he played into it. That kind of thing. Whereas if he won, he didn't have to defend or whatever. I thought he'd go with, but yeah.
Well remembered, Benno. There, Tama Tonga, your favourite. So moving on to September now. And how many NXT UK contracted wrestlers appeared on the WWE Clash of the Castle card in Wales? So this was the WWE's big event in the UK. So how many of the NXT UK contracted wrestlers appeared on the show?
Enfield.
Sorry, does this include like former, like ones who have like graduated, or just?
No, the ones who were currently sort of like NXT UK contracted at the time.
Is that a trick question, Martin? Like appeared, so they could have just been backstage or something.
Oh right, no, it's not a trick question. Yeah, just on the actual card itself.
Okay.
So obviously WWE spent ages building this brand up, and and now they have the big show in Cardiff. So how many wrestlers appeared?
I probably saw more at 2 a.m. in the morning at the ICW show.
That was hilarious, that Andy, where you were putting that. Yeah, classic that.
Yeah.
Karen's saying in the chat, Bruce, don't worry, you get to cover the G1 next year as well.
Oh yeah, looking forward to it.
He'll be cheering next year. It'll be better.
Yeah. No. It was a lot better this year than I thought the past couple of years, and certainly the finals. Not to get all serious or whatever, but the final match, the Osprey Okada match, was wonderful and is probably my match of the year still. Yeah,
it was a great match.
Did Ishii usually has a banger in the G1, or is he just?
Was he still in it?
Sort of like getting a bit
He was.
cold now?
Yeah. The rumor was that he was not wanting to, and then got the call from Gato at the last minute. To be put in. He wasn't quite up to his normal. Like this year and last year, you're starting to see just a slight little decline. But
no
still,
surprise though, isn't he? What he's been through in them, like to be fair to him.
He was like Senegal in the group stages. He was.
He didn't have the group though for it. I mean, that was one of the things I didn't like, that they only had 5 matches or 6 matches, and it didn't allow like a performer to have that kind of epic kind of run of matches, and especially when you're in there with some of the people they had, like a Yujiro or a whoever. Like it definitely made it weaker for me.
Would have been fun to see him in the Haas block, with all of the giants and everything. But yeah.
Right. So, how many NXT UK contractor wrestlers appear on the WWE Clash of the Castle card? Davie and Brandon.
I think it was a big fat 0.
Benno and Bruce.
Goose egg.
Same amount that deserved it. 0. Sorry. Get the wallet down.
Matty and Andy.
Yeah.
0. Big fat 0.
Yep, it was a big fat 0 after all that. So, second question. After AEW All Out, CM Punk publicly trashed the company, its EVPs and former champions, as well as going into nitty-gritty detail about Colt Cabana. This resulted in a massive backstage fight involving the Elite and all their mates, and everyone involved getting suspended and at least one person getting bitten. What was the main event of NXT Worlds Collide that very same day?
I love it.
What a question. Holy smokes.
Davie, you should know this one.
Yeah.
Fresher.
Holy, okay.
I remember the opener because that was a
okay, yeah.
Do you remember I know.
I mean, did this match get any traction whatsoever? Because everyone was still busy talking about CM Punk and everything. Yeah, it didn't have a.
I know what it is.
Then. No, it's not that one, Matty.
It's that. It's definitely that second one. It's 100% that.
Yeah.
100%. I'd say. Well.
Yeah. The other one you mentioned, Matty, was
Halloween Havoc. Was that?
Yeah.
Go on then, 100%.
99.9 if we're going to be fair. Yeah. Is it Bron Breakker versus Tyler Bate?
And Benno and Bruce?
We are playing way out of our depth here, I think, but we're going with Ziggler versus Breakker.
And Davie and Brandon?
Yeah, pretty sure it was Bron Breakker versus Tyler Bate to unify the titles.
Yep, points for Matt and Oggy there, and Davie and Brandon. Yeah, it was indeed Tyler Bate versus Bron Breakker for
great match.
NXT,
yeah, pretty good.
NXT UK title unification match. And Davie, has Tyler Bate been on NXT since? Or
he then, I think he had a match with JD McDonough, Jordan Devlin on TV, but he's kind of he's disappeared for a little bit. He had a few TV matches around the time of Worlds Collide and just after, but no, he hasn't been on for a while.
Right, maybe just running his contract down then, so he can join Trent in AEW maybe. Right, anyway, this should be easy for everyone, this. No, not the first one, yeah. Right, from his AEW debut in August 2021 to his apparent AEW exit in September 2022, how many matches did CM Punk have? Yep.
So closest again, Matt?
Yep, closest though, bang on the money, yeah.
He had a few, didn't he?
Yeah, a lot more than I thought it was, actually.
It's a good question.
Is the one that stands out to you as the best, Benno, obviously being a huge CM Punk guy? Is the one that, like, as soon as you think of CM Punk in AEW, that you're like, yeah, that was the big one.
I think, like Jamesy was talking about it, like for me, match of the year last year was the Kingston match, so it's probably that. But the MJF match, even the Dustin Rhodes match, is a nice little quiet banger.
Yeah.
So hang on, so maybe I've misunderstood the question. Sorry, was it overall matches or singles matches?
Overall matches, yeah.
For his entire run in
Andy, I
AEW.
reckon it's more than that, fella. I reckon it's well more than that, you know. No?
No.
But he was like Michael Barrymore for a bit, weren't he, Benno? When he was coming out welcoming everyone to the show for a bit. Remember, he was just like that cheerleader, like
he's smiling Punk.
Yeah, just coming out. I love what a segment, what we got coming up tonight and all that.
I was wondering where you're going with that one, Matty.
Yeah,
there weren't any swimming pools nearby, Matty. Dynamite.
I think this is the only show in the world where you'll get Michael Barrymore compared to CM Punk, but
nobody was. He was generally coming out cheddar, hyping the whole show. It was crazy.
Brandon and Bruce just look lost right now.
No, sorry guys, don't Google him. Just don't Google him.
Yeah, don't Google him. Yeah, you'll go into a world of hurt.
I'll take your word for it. I'm drinking it.
You might enjoy it, like.
Right, so Matty and Andy, how many
I think it's
matches
more
did
than
Punk have?
this, but we're going for key to the door 21. That's what we're going for. I think it's more
Benno
than that, though.
Benno and Bruce.
Because we were thinking maybe going there. I'd go. Do you mind if I call an audible, Bruce?
Go for it. Go for it.
23.
Davie and Brandon.
See, when I was putting together the list the other day, I was on Cage Match and actually looked at this, and it is either 21 or 22.
Oh.
So, Brandon, do I go with 21 to be safe and go with Matty and Andy, or do I go in the middle? I'm going to go 22.
Yeah.
So we're all different.
Wow, so he's down as CM Punk's #1 fan, and of course he is. He got it right. It's 23.
We were somewhere between 21 or 25, weren't we? So that's just right in the middle.
I had it way lower than that in my head initially. I did not.
I thought it'd be 30s, to be honest, because tag matches and all that, weren't he? I think quite a few.
He did a bunch of Rampage early on and that sort of thing.
Was it, who was he tagging with against FTR? Because that was great.
Was it with Sting and Darby?
Sting and Darby.
Sting and Darby.
He wore the paint, the face paint.
No, wasn't he a tag? Oh, let's go back and look at that one. Sorry, yeah, no, there's a good one on T. Moxley, I'm sure it was Moxley and Punk for the FTR. That was a banger.
Oh, well done, Benno. There, bang on the money. When you said 21, Matty, I thought, oh, well, they're winning it because that's one of the closest. But yeah, when Benno was like 23. But I know I've got an easy one to round out the month. What was the name of the bakery who supplied the sweet treats?
I should remember it. Do you remember, Andy?
What's this?
What cookie? Oh, you playing, mate?
Yeah, no, who was it? Oh, the bakery. No,
cookies.
I was thinking of the one that supplied 1PW then, which was thinking donuts.
Just making sure you're still here, mate.
Yeah, no, I'm still here.
Oh, I should know that. It's a great line, isn't it?
Yep. I'm sure they got tons of business as well after
you
them out. Yeah.
Do you remember, And?
No, sorry.
Go on then, Davie and Brandon. What was the name of the bakery?
We were gonna say Mindy's Bakery.
Then Benno and Bruce.
Yeah, exactly, Mindy's.
Yeah, Mindy's. Yeah.
Andy and Matt.
No, I had Millie's cookies, like the ones in town, Ben. That's what I had in the end.
It's a long trip for them.
Are they still going, Millie's Cookies? I remember loads of people used to get like birthday cookies from them.
I knew we had with them, but that's about it.
Yeah, classic. Yeah, sorry, Matt and Andy. It was Mindy's Bakery, so points to Davie and
Steph,
Benno and Bruce.
When Steph was in Chicago last month, she went and like you literally can't buy anything from them. It's like unless you call up first thing in the morning, they sell out by lunchtime. That's the CM Punk effect. That's what's happened.
Wow. Yeah, that was popular bakery then. On to October now. And Nigel McGuinness is let go by WWE earlier in the month. What was the name of his 2014 failed Kickstarter wrestling promotion?
Oh fuck. Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
The deep
I
cut,
knew he'd know. Do you know Andy?
Yeah, you knew Nigel. Who?
Yep. I was going to say who.
Am I supposed to know who that is?
His wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
He had a
How did he not
Kickstarter
end
for
up in
wrestling
a?
promotion.
Oh, for not the documentary. Oh, okay.
AEW,
not
Benno,
the-
he should be
yeah.
in AEW, shouldn't he? Or Ring of Honor?
I was shocked that he wasn't like the surprise at the end of the ROH preview, or they used him on commentary at least.
Yeah,
You'd think he'd get that
just
gig,
use him on
but
comment. He's actually, I think he's all
guess
right.
he never is coming
Commentator. Yeah.
yeah,
So
me
he
too.
didn't.
I'm
He
surprised
hasn't
he got
done
rid of him. I
anything
thought they
since
liked him.
October then. Benno, he's not done anything
I
since
don't think so, no.
October. Yeah. Oh wow.
No, nothing
someone
as
would have
far as I
scooped him
know.
up,
No,
yeah.
And but it was a weird one because they got rid of him, didn't they? And then like, they were like, well, we got Wade Barrett. He's got an English accent. We'll use him instead. And then Booker T got the NXT gig. It was just, yeah, odd
It
one.
wouldn't
Triple H
shock you
just
if he
doesn't like him.
wrestled ever again. What's up with him, Ben? Is he like, can he wrestle again? Or?
He claims he could, but like there were different
Wrestler,
rumors and
innit?
stuff about it. Concussions is definitely one of them, and then other stuff as well, blood related
Yeah.
stuff. But
AEW
like, it's
will
that
clear him,
TNA
though.
one. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, that Dr. Nick at AEW will.
We'll clear him, yeah.
out,
He will
but-
clear him. Like,
Nigel
like,
Shibata at All Out next year. Let's go. Saraya is the ref.
It's that Desmond Wolfe run that's the most devastating. Like he should have been a big deal in TNA, and then
I actually love
Hogan
him
and
as
the lads
Desmond
came in,
Wolfe.
didn't they? And,
Yeah. Them angle matches are
yeah,
great.
he's great.
Right. So Matt and Andy, what was the promotion called from the first?
I'm
Kickstarter?
going with Andy's one he's just sent over, and that's Pint of McGuinness.
And Benno and Bruce.
LA fights. Yeah, I think. Yeah, anyway, go into it, but yeah, LA
Davie
fights.
and Brandon.
We're going with NEW, Nigel's Extreme Wrestling.
I mean, those two teams are wrong. Sort of like Matt and Andy and Davie and Brandon, but I think your names are better. Yes, it was indeed LA Fight. Big memories of LA Fight and this Kickstarter then, Benno.
Oh god, yeah. What was the idea that it was going to be like a shoot fight blood sport knockoff
Sounds
type
about right.
thing?
That
GCW did do it this year. They created a company called LA Fights. He should have sued them.
But he was talking about doing it, like filming it, like in the course of like a week, like or 2 weeks, like a TV series, and to minimize production cost. It kind of almost like the Lucha Underground format, which was actually kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't honestly, until Shane came with this question, I couldn't remember that. Everyone remembers the documentary and the Kickstarter, don't they? But I'd totally forgotten about the promotion. Right, anyway, on to the next question. Problematic Brit Rest-Fed 1PW returned this month with their first show in 11 years, main evented by Rob Van Dam against Mark Haskins. But what was the main event of their very first show on October the 1st, 2005?
Oh, fucking hell. I've got one wrestling in mind for that one.
This is
I
all
knew
you,
this because
Benno.
I was
This
there
is
live watching this one at midnight. Main event kicked off at about midnight.
deep Brit Res lore. I'm out on this one.
Even I know the input. Sorry, I'm not saying nothing. No, and no.
Oh yeah, Bruce,
surely.
this isn't a promotion that relied mainly on. I mean, it was known for just literally imports galore sort of thing.
He was around then, Matty.
Do you think?
Yeah.
No, that feud is, yeah, but they brought it over here.
He was over here quite a lot.
Go with it. Have we got to get both wrestlers for the points, Matt, or is it 2 points? One for each wrestler.
Oh no, just the match. Yeah, 1 point for the match. You have to get the whole match.
Oh right, okay.
Being harsh like that, sorry.
Oh no worries, Mark. Been a cracking host, mate.
Cheers, mate. So Davie and Brandon, who was the main event of the first 1PW show?
No
I'll
idea.
leave it to the British guy, my British tag partner.
So I'm going to
Squire
go with
David Taylor.
Alex Shane, who's probably kicking about doing stuff around then, versus Jerry Lynn.
Sounds like a match that happened. That.
Yeah, that is not a bad shout, that Davie. Benno and Bruce.
See, I want it because I'm convinced that Corey Graves there and James Keenan was like in a major spot already in the company. So I think Abyss was the other guy. It's either him or I vaguely remember AJ Styles being on that first show. So Abyss, AJ Styles.
And Matt and
We've got we both said AJ straight away. I thought it was against the British wrestler, but Andy's called it that the Abyss feud from TNA carried on over here. So we've got Abyss v Styles.
Yep, correct. There it was.
Andy,
AJ
well in,
Styles
mate.
Abyss.
Well in.
Yep.
Because I knew we were a regular with 1PW.
Oh yeah.
We both
big
had
time,
AJ
yeah.
straight away, didn't we? We both knew that.
It's just a great like trivia note, isn't it? The Corey Graves though. Like I wish he'd made event today. It was a Brit Res legend back in the day, Martin, in the 2000s. So
the first show that he came on, and then I think he was Abyss's manager or something like that, and then he started getting over for whatever reason.
Was
and
he
then
good,
he had
Benno?
a bit of feud with Spud and that. It was all right, Matty. You know, for the time, considering you know we were just it was all TNA wrestlers basically.
Was like a budget CM Punk.
Was he kind of working like the punkabilly sort of thing?
Yeah, and he was like, he's very much trying to like do like a fake punk type of thing, and it kind of worked. He got over, you know. It's funny now because if you try and search CM Punk on WWE Network, you get Sterling Corey Graves matches come up. No Punk matches, but Corey Graves comes up. So he got his wish eventually. He replaced them one day, just in the WWE Network search too.
He got over massively with the fans and everything, but then I stopped going by the time, you know, he started main eventing and stuff like that. But it was quite fun, you know, when it was Abyss versus Spud and James Keenan was managing Abyss. They had a lot of fun together. But last question for October, and obviously Amber Heard and Johnny Depp saga was a big news story this year, weren't it? All over the papers and everything. But Amber claimed that Johnny was insanely jealous. She even showed text messages that he was from him. He was upset at a rap party that she went to in November 2014. And photos surfaced from this rap party. But which wrestler was Amber hanging out with? So yeah, all over. And I just couldn't believe it when this came out. The couple of them photos came out who she was hanging out with at this party. I mean, I'd be jealous if I was Johnny Depp.
Can you repeat that question again?
Yep. So obviously, Amber Heard Johnny Depp saga was a big news story this year. Amber claimed that Johnny was insanely jealous. Claimed she even showed text messages that he was upset because she was out at a rap party in November.
Oh, I know that. Okay.
Yeah,
it's just come to me as well. Just
Good. I don't have a clue.
Should have got this right away.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, Davie and Brandon, which wrestler was Amber Heard hanging out with at a rap party in November 2014?
It's got to be Big Sexy Kevin Nash, man.
And Matt and Oggy.
Yeah, so she wanted to rub her hands through Big Sexy Kev's hair.
Benno and Bruce.
Yeah, Big Kev. Like it took me a while to remember, but how could I forget?
I was going to say, but you should do that straight away there.
Yeah.
She was hanging around with
Great
Kev's Magic Mike.
Yeah. It was the Magic Mike XXL rap party. So I didn't even. Is Amber Heard in that film, or was she just hanging out?
She is. She actually is in it. Yeah.
Was Kev wearing a FUBU jersey?
I wish I'd kept the picture now. I could have flashed it up in the group chat. But anyway, on to November. And it's our last special guest that we've got for the show.
Hello, BWE. This is Wei Ting of Post Wrestling. Post celebrated its 5-year anniversary this past November with a live show in New York. But what was the very first show that John and I reviewed on the first ever Review Away?
So there you go. Merry Christmas to Mr. Wei Ting then. And obviously his question was, what was the first show him and John reviewed on Review Away all those years ago? They're into the hundreds of episodes now. So I'm sure they probably fetched this up maybe recently or at the 5-year anniversary maybe.
Is it a
Have you been calling in? You what, sorry?
Is it a pay-per-view?
Yeah, it's a pay-per-view, yeah. I'll give you that clue. Have you been calling in since the first show, Brandon? I can't imagine a time when you weren't calling into their shows.
Sadly, I've only started calling like 5 years ago, so I wasn't around back then.
Just to be clear, it's specifically Review Away, not Rewind Away, right?
Yeah, it was Review Away that Wade said. Yeah,
the real deep lore. Yeah, okay.
So I think we've all had enough time. So Davie and Brandon, what was the show John and Way first reviewed on Review Away?
Brandon?
Go ahead, Davey. You say, because since you're a paid employee of the post wrestling universe.
Well, first we were torn with One Night in China or Queen of the Ring, but then you said pay-per-view. I don't know, WrestleMania X7.
And Benno and Bruce?
I'm gonna go with Mania 13. All I know is that I remember them talking about regretting kind of burning through a lot of manias really early on in the early days. So just kind of throwing a dart at the wall and going Mania 13.
And Matt and Andy?
Yes, I've gone with Heroes of Wrestling.
Oh, that would have been a good one for a first show. Yeah, they've definitely reviewed that, and like Davey said, they burnt through a lot of it. Bruce said burnt through. Well, sadly, not all wrong, guys. It was no one was ever going to get this. It was In Your House Ground Zero.
It's
headlined by Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. The least remembered Shawn Michaels Undertaker match. I don't think nobody ever talks about that one, do they?
They couldn't.
Definitely feel like I've heard them mention that before. Yeah. That's annoying.
In Your House Ground Zero. They've probably reviewed it twice at this point already. But moving on to the second question for November. On November the 2nd, Dynamite, the former 6-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion Jeff Jarrett made his triumphant debut. But who is the current NWA World Heavyweight Champion? Long lineage of this title. Legends have held this title. You think of the NWA title, you think of Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes.
Dan Severn.
Guy. Yeah.
Gary Steele. He was one.
Why was he the British guy?
He was the British guy.
Yeah. Mid to late 90s, wasn't he? I think he died quite young as well, didn't he? I think Gary Steele. He was part of that NWA.
Gary Stridham for a second.
I think he's still going.
Gary Stridham, yeah.
Right. Gary Stridham.
Gary Stridham was NWA champion.
I mean, that'd certainly get a lot more eyes on it than this guy. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, this is one of the worst of all time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
Decision's
There's been some
easy.
bad ones, haven't there? But yeah, this got the worst of all time. Right. So Benno and Bruce, who is the current NWA World Champ?
Regrettably, it is in fact Tyrus. I remember as I was watching this goddamn show, I thought, you know what? If I end up on the Big Fat Quiz, at least if nothing else, sitting through another year of NWA programming will at least give me a point in the quiz. So yeah, watch that show, unsubbed from Fight, but I am able to give you the correct answer and tell you that it's Tyrus.
At least you got something out of it. Davie and Brandon.
Yeah, it's Tyrus.
Does he bring that belt on the 5 and on other Fox News?
Oh yeah, he's bringing it on Gutfeld and everything. Oh yeah.
What a guy! What a legend!
Matt and Andy.
Yeah, it was Tyrus. He beat Trevor Murdoch, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did Matt Cardona have it at some point?
He got stripped because he was injured, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had to get it took off
right.
because he was injured. Yeah.
You think if Tyrus brought that to the Herschel Walker campaign, it would have put Herschel over the top? Yeah,
they made him a champion. They made him a police officer. Now they've made him a champion. Yeah.
Someone, Louis Didcott in the chat has said, remember Bruce Tharp. I mean, he did more to get over that championship belt in Japan than the actual wrestlers themselves, didn't he? With his flashy jackets and that. Yeah. Long forgotten about him. Right. Oh, this is right up everyone's street. I mean, Bow Wow begins his heated feud with Jade Cargill. And it's surely to be remembered as one of the all-time great wrestling feuds, because of course it is. But name the 4 singles from Little Bow Wow's most successful album, 2006, Beware of the Dog.
What year? What year was that?
I got you, Bruce. Don't worry.
Okay.
2006, right?
So a point for each. He had 4 top singles from that. If you can name, you'll get a point for each one.
I know one for sure.
Yeah, I think everyone knows one, but then it's the other 3. I had no idea I had more than one hit single.
Neither did I.
I'll be honest. The other day when we talked about this story on Spotlight, I was going looking for Bow Wow singles to use as the opening song, so I should get this. Some of them I hadn't remembered though.
Was it actually true that he was? No, because obviously Snoop calls everyone nephew, doesn't he? But around the time, he was genuinely calling Little Bow Wow his nephew. So
that was the gimmick when he first come out with it, Benno.
Yeah,
it's like Ogden and Andre and Paul White with it. He was trying to do something like that.
I think somebody actually said again in the Grapple YouTube comment. Somebody said that he related to Daz Dillinger of the Dog Pound, but wasn't. Or was that Sasha Banks? Because it's a weird family. Because Sasha Banks is in there.
Oh, Diggity Daz.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, more of a corrupt guy, but yeah. But yes, I think Sasha is also Daz's cousin. I think so. I think they're all related in some way.
Right.
I've got two, and that's it. I only know these two. The others are probably American singles, Ben. I remember these two being big over here, though, that I've got.
Right. So, Matt and Noggy, do you want to go first?
Go on,
I've got Let Me Hold You with the Marion and Like You with Sierra. They're the two that I remember.
And Benno and Bruce?
Definitely What's My Name? We both had that, didn't we, Bruce?
Yeah.
Bounce for Me was the other one I considered for Grapple. I think Puppy Love was one. And the other one, I don't know. Ghetto Girls was one of his early ones. Go with that.
Right. And Davie and Brandon. Bet you were big into Bow Wow, weren't you, Brandon, back in the day?
Shorty Like Mine and Out of My System are the ones I know off the top of my head.
Well, there's only Benno and Bruce who picked 20 points. It was.
I got the wrong album there then.
I think you have, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember them. Flipping hell. Sorry, Andy. I know they were big songs, mate.
Nah,
I the wrong album there.
Not my stuff. That.
Didn't he have that Michael Jordan song too? I mean, like Mike or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, he did for the film. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was Bounce With Me, Bow Wow, That's My Name, Puppy Love, and Ghetto Girls, and Benno. I know you're a big rap fan.
That's not to be proud of, Benno.
It's only because I literally downloaded 3 of those. The 4th one was a total guess, but I downloaded 3 of those for the Spotlight music, trying to get one.
Benno's street certified now, man. Respect.
Highlight of Bob's career is Tokyo Drift. We've all got to be honest. It wasn't the music
greatest movie ever, man. I'll fight anyone who disagrees.
Got to be a grapple review with you two guys coming up for that one.
I love that movie. I can recite that movie chapter and verse. I've seen it so many times. It's flames, man. It's dope.
He's got to be the worst leading man of an action film, though. What's Lucas Black? He's terrible in it.
Every time I watch Tokyo Drift, if you close your eyes, it's AJ Styles. With the Bullet Club.
They bring them back, Benno, don't they, for the last one? Unbelievable.
Yeah, I was made up.
Yeah.
Camera just drifts off of his face, and you end up focusing on anything else.
Hey, he got that CSI check too, so I respect that. He was on that CSI New Orleans show. Respect.
So on the November 27th PWT cast, Colt Cabana, shout out Scrum, great podcast. Colt Cabana told a story about a pro wrestler forgetting who he was despite having recently spent 2 hours with him at the airport. But who was the wrestler who forgot Colt Cabana? So he spent 2 hours at the airport and Sting forgot.
Great story.
Bruce Lord was there when they recorded that, right?
What?
Weren't you at the PWT visiting that one?
I was. There weren't any big fancy celebs, at least not so I'd notice. There apart from
you look like Shaquille O'Neal next to him in that picture.
I'm a tall guy,
or Man Mountain Rock. Wait, what was his WCW name?
Max Payne.
Yeah, Max Payne.
Legend, yeah. The unreleased documentary.
Brandon, look at your phone. I need help here.
Sorry, I'm thinking about Max Payne.
Too good a time.
Was that good? Was it, yeah, Scrum gave you the full guided tour of PWT when you were in Chicago, then, Bruce? So I imagine that was a good laugh.
It was fantastic. Yeah, I got to see the whole guided tour around the back. Whole hell of a lot of pink, kind of in the stacked up shirts, because this is like, kind of right when the Acclaimed is kind of blowing off. So plenty of Scissor Me Daddy ass shirts all over the place. But no, it was a really, really cool time. I really enjoyed it.
Excellent. Did you get any free T-shirts?
No, but I gave him one of mine actually. We did a kind of we did like a lucha. I don't know if you know
jersey
the cover,
swap,
but more or less, yeah. It was like we did a T-shirt for my website of kind of like the Kraftwerk Man Machine album cover, but like swapping up like luchadors' faces over top of Kraftwerk's face, and so I thought he'd get a kick out of that.
Oh, cool idea for a T-shirt. So, Davie and Brandon, who was the person who forgot Colt Cabana?
We assume it's a Japanese wrestler, perhaps, and
that narrows it down.
Yeah, Brandon, who are we going with?
I'm gonna go Ryusuke Kaguchi.
What did he say?
Yusuke Taguchi,
the funky weapon himself.
The funky weapon, the ass man. Benno and Bruce.
Yeah, I heard this story from Scrum's mouth directly from the podcast, but yeah, it was Sting.
Oh,
Noggy.
Yeah, we've got Steve Borden. We've got him down.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was that man Sting. I mean, he's
Real
getting on it.
amazing.
He can't expect, still taking big bumps. You can't expect him to remember every scrub in AEW. You know what I mean? So
It's such a sad story because, like, I think Colt Cabana's like, oh, we had this great chat for 2 hours, heart to heart. He gave me all this wrestling advice, and then like 3 months later, Sting turns up at AEW, and Colt's like, oh, remember we had that chat in the airport, and Sting's like, sorry, who are you? Like, it's just like heartbreaking.
wow.
he's
Shout
got
out to
his
Scrum.
property portfolio on his mind, hasn't he? Sting. That's where his main focus is at, not this wrestling shit. The last question for November before we dive into our last round of questions. So, during Austin Theory's entrance at Survivor Series, WWE replaced his normal Titantron video with a video from one of the show's sponsors. What was the name of the sponsor? Still haven't caught up with Survivor Series. I had no idea about this. Really want to see that War Games.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you what it's called, to be honest. And
Yeah, a bit of an odd one, this, isn't it? Trying to remember.
got to be
sponsor.
proper specific. Like it's
Yeah.
And it's not even like it's one of WWE's usual ones. I'll give you that hint anyway.
Stop giving hints on the ones we know the answers to.
Sorry, Davey. Right, let's go then. So Matt and Noggy, what was the?
I'm going with the Andy's one. On 5 o'clock energy, whatever if that even is a real thing.
Benno and Bruce.
I feel like it's some sort of weird like flying toy drone gimmick,
definitely
but I have no idea what the actual name is.
Oh,
Go on then. Davey and Brandon, put them out of the misery.
It's Beyblades.
Up the fucking Millers. Let's fucking go.
Come on.
Yes, up the Millers. Yes, well done, lads.
Get in.
Well done,
Title, Beyblade Burst Quad Drive.
Get in.
So-
Get in.
You almost remembered it, Bruce, and then you also gave it away to Andy as well. So well done, lads. Well done, Davey and Brandon. The
We
comeback
realise
from
we've been
last
slipping the
podcast.
last few months, so we
Yeah.
need a strong December here.
Indeed, you
A
do.
long
Final finish.
December. When is...
Up the Millers. Right, December now. Which veteran pro wrestler appeared on Figure 4 Daily and could not comprehend the incredibly complicated and complex story behind the Hangman Page and Jon Moxley brawl on Dynamite? So a wrestler went on Figure 4 Daily and was just really confused about the complicated and complex story behind the Hangman Page and Jon Moxley brawl on Dynamite. This clip passed me by, I'm afraid.
do you know this one, Benno?
Yeah.
Is this another one of them wrestlers that people pretend were good, or what?
Yeah.
Are you involved with that on him or not?
We'll get it to. I'm not giving you any hint.
I know who it is.
Max,
Wade Keller.
Put that message as well. Van
Wade
Gaal.
Keller made this.
Yeah.
Wade Keller made this point before this person did, though. I will say that, and he got none of the heat. But he said the same thing.
So go on then, Davie and Brandon. Who was it?
No idea. Brandon, who you going with? Give me a no idea.
No idea.
Brandon, pick a name.
Come on, man. Come on.
Harley
pick a
Race.
name.
Is he still alive? Harley Race.
No, he's not.
He's been
No,
dead a
he's
few
not.
years now, Dave.
Was it King Corno?
No, it's King Mabel. Benno and Bruce.
It was my normally quite sober and clear-headed countryman Lance Storm, who apparently just turned into a potato at the possibility of why it might be that that Paige would be out for a measure of payback after being concussed and knocked out for several months. I really don't know why this is giving so many people a hard time.
I remember the video clip too.
Matt and Oggy, what was the average?
Yeah,
Be serious for a minute. It was Lance Storm.
The bang average restless Lance Storm.
I like Lance Storm. Best of the Regal.
Yeah, I throw that one out there. Then.
That's not hard, isn't it?
Lance Storm does play a good straight man too. Brian Alvarez,
Yeah. The what were they called? The Un-Americans.
Yeah, the Un-Americans. Yeah.
Team Canada was great in WCW. Michael,
oh, amazing! Impact players in ECW. They were good there as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, were they great for you, Bruce, as a Canadian? Were you?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. Any pushback against American hegemony always gets over with the with the Canadian wrestling fan. It's an easy way. I mean, American Canada Heat, very easy way to kind of get over with a local indie crowd still to this day.
And they took Jim Duggan as well.
He did, yeah.
made him have a shave
with his janitor outfit. Yeah, respect.
Yeah, the janitor outfit. Yeah.
Right, second question for December. Which former Dragon Gate wrestler made a surprise return to the promotion on their December the 6th Karakan Hall show? Karakan.
Andy, I'll trust you all day long on this, mate, because I haven't a clue. Trust you, mate.
I can't. Has anyone on this call been watching any Dragon Gate this year? No.
Alan Farrell came on our podcast this week, and out of politeness, I tried to put a show on. I watched the opening match and turned it off. So even JP didn't watch it.
Grand opening,
but I did see. If we're talking about the same thing, I did see this thing happen.
Right. So Matt and Oggy, go on then. Who was
Andy? Go on, mate.
Yeah, so it's Dragon Gate UK favourite Shingo,
and Benno and Bruce.
Papa Shingo.
LP's daddy at this point, yeah.
Davie and Brandon.
Yeah, Shingo.
Yep. Yeah, UK legend Shingo. Yeah, he was over here quite a bit, wasn't he, Andy, for those Dragon Gate UK shows.
Why does he wear his trousers so high? That's the question. It's like I had that belly button.
I don't know. I used to ask my teachers at school the same question.
What size neck's your keks in it? That's the shout it is. That's the shout you should go down. always kills me off that one.
I've honestly never heard that one before.
All time, man. It's killed me off, man.
I'll go into Burton's next time, Matty.
Just say it. What size neck's your keks?
So, second to last question. What tag team was inducted into the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame? Really famous tag team. Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame.
That could be anyone from last week, couldn't it? With that?
What's all the controversy at the minute, Benno? Is Naito going in this year, or are people voting him in, or what?
The answer might be Naito and his weirdo fans, but it's not. They're just coming after Jamesy on Twitter. Naito and Ibushi both went in.
Yeah, Ibushi.
They both went in. Yeah, which is fair enough. Like we were getting a lot of grief on Grapple because we're not Naito fans. I just find them a bit stale, a bit boring. As good as he is as a wrestler, the presentation and such. But I wouldn't argue his Hall of Fame case. Absolutely, he's sells enough merch, doesn't he? He's popular enough in Japan. I'm sure Bruce can say.
Yeah, that's kind of the. I mean, similarly, unless he's in there with Zach or somebody who he can really has a proper match with, I'm a little bit burnt out on the last couple of years of his in ring. But yeah, you look at the merch sales, the amount of the way he actually having just even the basic LIJ multi-man at the top of a card still draws. So yeah, no, I have no problem with him going in.
He sucks. If I wanted to watch a man strip for 20 minutes, I'd watch Magic Mike.
You'd have a great time. It's a great movie.
There we go. The Naito Kevin Nash match that we've all been waiting for. Yeah.
Probably happened in TNA, didn't it?
Probably happened in TNA, yeah.
Who'll be the workhorse in that match, though? Tough question.
I mean, it'd be Big Kev. Come on, in a strip down match, it'd have to be Big Kev, wouldn't it? He'd be carrying the load there in more ways than one. But anyway, I digress. What tag team was inducted into the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame? Rather, Matty and Andy.
It was the Holy Demon Army of Kawada and Taue.
Yeah, I didn't know what to say. Taue, is it Taue?
Yeah.
Got it spot on, Matty. Benno and Bruce.
Yeah, Holy Demon Army.
And Davie and Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon got this one the same. Holy Demon Army.
Well done, Brandon. And come to the end of December and the last question. So big one here. According to Cage Match, what is the best rated North American wrestling pay-per-view of 2022? According to cagematch.com.
Me and Matty will answer according to Grapple. I don't loyalty to Gareth, but...
There you go.
I don't think that's been released yet, has it? It usually releases it sort of like early next year, doesn't it? The top matches of the year and what.
Yeah, that'll be coming out January. Yeah. We'll be probably do a top 10 match of the year part again.
It's not an obvious one, I don't think. It's one that took me by surprise when I saw it. That it's got such a high rating out of all the pay-per-views of this year, North American ones. Getting tense now. Last question. Right, I think we should all have our answers locked in now. So, Davie and Braden, what was the highest rated?
My name's Brandon.
Sorry, mate. It's been a long week.
I'm not that tall. Come on. Come
Brandon,
on, Martin. Me and you are probably the same height.
Brandon, which one are we going for here?
Man. Yeah, you pick it. You have gray hair today. Go ahead, pick it.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Forbidden Door.
And Benno and Bruce.
That was our guess too. Forbidden Door, kind of a dark horse candidate, but very well reviewed on Cage Match, as I recall.
Would you say that? You saying that? So we're just arguing between ourselves. Would you say that as well, then? And
go with it, but I don't think it is.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Go with your gut.
Yeah.
Matt, go with my gut. Would you say, Matty?
That one? That's not North American, though, is it?
No, the first one I put.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3,
right.
We're going
AEW Double or Nothing.
Oh, you should always go with your gut, Andy, apart from on this occasion, because it was indeed AEW New Japan Forbidden Door. Ranked number 4 with a rating of 9.23. I was really surprised at that. That was ranked so high.
I've never watched it yet. I haven't watched that one.
Well, the build was so good, you know.
That's what I mean. That's what you're better watching it. What a new AEW delivered in the ring.
Martin, one of my guesses, I said it should have been Clash at the Castle because that's a 10 out of 10 show for me this year.
What time did you start on the ale in Cardiff that day?
Friday night.
About 10 o'clock in the morning, I think it was. Yeah. Cracking show.
Gutted I wasn't there, Andy. Absolutely devastated, mate. Seriously.
Yeah.
Right, talk amongst yourselves. I'm just totting the scores up.
Just said to the chat, any predictions anyone want to throw out there?
I think
no idea.
You've won, Benno. I think Davie and Brandon were starting off strong. I think we're last. And then I thought Davie and Brandon started off strong, but I think Hughes took over midway through and stayed consistent. So I'll go Hughes first, Davie second, Bush last.
Yeah, so taking part that counts.
That's it, mate. That's it. Last minute, you know what I mean? And
I think Brandon and I might have won January to June. I think we were very strong. I think we slipped too much, though. I think we're last. I think Benno and Bruce.
We're last.
I think Matt and Andy second. We had a rough few end of the year, which is kind of accurate, to be honest.
Martin,
Dog Days of August killed us, man.
Yeah.
Martin, take into account, mate, how great of a host I think you've been on this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. High praise to Martin Bushby. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Keeping the wheels
great job,
running.
Martin.
He looks like he froze himself.
Don't think he is, though, is he? Look how it's intense, isn't it?
It's important stuff.
The Holy Demon Army thing reminded me, speaking of the Holy Demon Army and quizzes, I did a quiz on the music blog's Twitter that I run as to whether or not people could identify whether All Japan Tag Team names either were they All Japan Tag Team names or lyrics from Rob Zombie songs. And it was surprisingly difficult to actually tell the difference for a lot of people if you weren't a big Rob Zombie or All Japan fan.
Did you enjoy this your first time, Matty?
Oh, boss, boys, yeah.
You were at Savio Vega tonight, super sub.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with that one. I was trying to think of a good replacement part at the last minute, but, it's just nice chatting to Bruce and Brandon and Davie again, just obviously well in, boys.
I want to hear you and Brandon do a podcast. That's what I want.
Yeah. Mate, Brandon's just...
It'd just be it'd be 70% laughter, 30% content. It'd be brilliant.
You'll think we're on all kinds, wouldn't you, listeners? You think we're on all sorts.
Right, I've sent it to the official adjudicator and it's come back. So here we go. In third place with a grand total of 45, it's Matt and Oggy.
I knew
Congratulations, guys. Wooden spoon there for you.
No problem.
Not too far in front of you is Davie and Brandon with a whopping 46. And the winners with 57 is Benno and Bruce.
Wow.
This is Trump stuff we want to recount here.
Stop the steal. Stop the steal.
Benno's won. That he won last year with
2 in a year now.
Appreciate it, boys. Well done. Bruce, Benno, well done.
Well done.
Good job, guys.
And well done, Martin.
Yeah.
And thank you,
Coming
Shane.
on, really appreciate it. It's been a great one.
That was
so
awesome.
good that forbid AEW one turned into the Worlds Collide. That was the unbelievable question. That's
yeah, shout out to Shane. He was absolutely brilliant helping to put those together and stuff. There were a few that I skipped off, maybe a bit too controversial, but we got
a bit res related, maybe.
Maybe. Right, guys. So obviously, I've got nothing to plug anymore. But let's go around. Let's go around the horn. Davie, it's we're coming up to a new year. We've got a new branding on the podcast. Some brilliant, loving the new graphics, loving the new shows, loving the new outlook. So here's your platform. Poison Rana, tell us all.
Yeah, go and follow, subscribe to Poison Rana wherever you find your podcasts. You can go to poisonrana.ca where you'll find all the links to our YouTube, our Patreon, and all our socials. We've started a new show every Sunday, kind of a Pardon the Interruption style show where we talk about the whole week in wrestling with myself and Braden. So it will be 2 p.m. every Sunday. Obviously, this December kind of the festivities fall on Sundays this year, so we'll be kind of moving things around. But from January, 2 p.m. every Sunday. And on that feed, we'll also be having movie reviews. We've got a rotating show. We've got Jordan Goodman doing a show on there. We've got Shot in the Dark with John Cena. And then we do our regular Up Next show every Tuesday on the Post Wrestling feed immediately after NXT. So that's poisonrana.ca.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, it all looks fantastic, mate. All the best with that. And Benno, what's happening at Grapple Towers?
Yeah, same as always. Spotlight Mondays. We've got a lot of Christmas stuff coming up. We're going to be doing this week. We're going to be doing our Grappy Awards, which Matty will be a part of. Talking the best in wrestling. The Crappy Awards will be on the Patreon as well. Looking at the worst in the year. But yeah, we'll have our normal Christmas show on the 27th. People can look forward to top 10 of the year. It's year end, isn't it? No one wants to hear us break down Dynamites anymore at this time of the year. So yeah, lots of fun stuff coming up, isn't there, Matty?
Oh yeah, it's great stuff. We've got like a film one coming, isn't it, Ben? Tomorrow.
Yeah, film club as well.
Christmas film club. So yeah, plenty of good stuff there.
When's the Shield deep dive dropping? I was looking forward to listening to that one. Is that tomorrow?
Depends if JP's fell asleep or not.
I thought he was going up today, Ben. To be honest.
Well, we'll see. It should be tonight, though. Yeah, that should be going up tonight. But that was a fun one, wasn't it, Matt?
Oh, it was right up my street, that one. I proper enjoyed that. But can I also mention I've done the Must See Matches podcast before. I want to give that podcast a plug because I really enjoyed that, and it's always great to be a part of that. So that thing that's dropping Christmas week, maybe Christmas Eve early. So just wanted to mention that one.
Excellent stuff. And what about you, Bruce?
Yeah, we've got a new episode of Postmarks coming out, I believe, this Saturday, where David Myers and I are speaking with the aforementioned Scrump. Great conversation that went all over the place. Got a lot into his interest in film and that type of storytelling and how that sort of relates to his interest in wrestling. In addition to that, outside of wrestling, my normal hustle, as the team name alludes to, is a website called idieudie.com, and the associated We Have a Technical podcast, where my partner Alex and I talk about goth music, industrial music, EBM, darkwave, what we like to call darker alternative music. We're getting into year-end season right now. We'll have our favorite records of the year up next week, but tomorrow on Friday we have our little Friends of post where various other writers and DJs are dropping by with their comments and picks for kind of album of the year, including Post's own Kate from Montreal. So if you have been listening to Kate over the past couple of years and thinking, wow, this person has really insightful takes on WWE, AEW, I wonder what her tastes in French dark ambient music are like. Well, boy, howdy, do I have the answer for you. And you can take a look at what we have up on IDIUDI starting tomorrow.
Excellent stuff. Thank you so much for coming on. And Augie, what's going on over there with you? Are you still looking down the barrel at WCW 2000?
Yeah, so me and Chris Wilson have just finished our 12-month journey of watching WCW 2000. So he's basically just watched the pay-per-views because he's got a telegraphic memory of what's gone on the TV. So I've sat through every Nitro and Thunder and all the pay-per-views over the last 12 months.
You're a lucky man, Andy. You're a lucky man, mate.
And you know what? I don't want to revisit it again. It's like you Benno and Matty with Montreal. Just don't mention it again, please. So yeah, we've been doing that, and also myself and Kieran off Must See Matches. Currently doing a project on all the BritRest TV shows after World of Sport. So we did Transatlantic Wrestling Challenge, and now we're on UWA Rampage, which was on a channel called Live TV in the UK in about 1999. So we're up to, I think, episode 5 to 7 on that, and yeah, no, going great guns, and still doing live reviews at promotions who will still let me and Jeff in. But you can follow us at GCP Podcast 1.
Andy, you should do reviews about the stuff that comes on after the wrestling on live TV. That'll go down well.
Oh yeah. No, we talked about midgets on a trampoline doing the weather and topless darts and all.
Oh yeah, topless darts, bloody hell.
Classic live TV. And Brandon, anything to plug, mate? Or are you like me? Nothing.
You can catch me delivering packages in the tri-state area this weekend.
always tip your delivery drivers.
At my shoot gig, you can catch me doing that. I'll be listening to everyone's podcast as well doing that.
And on that note, thanks to everyone so much for tuning in on YouTube and everything. It really means a lot for everyone sticking out. I know it's been a long one compared to John and Way, usually a bit more concise than 3 hours that we've gone. But thanks so much for sticking with us. It was a great laugh doing it with you guys. Thanks so much for everyone for doing it, and obviously Shane for coming up with the questions. And yeah, that's it this year. Maybe come back next year. But as far as it goes for me, thanks a lot, everyone. And